In this story, an innocent man goes on a blind date after his mother's insistence and accidentally gets entangled with a dangerous mafia boss. That mafia boss was actually looking for someone for a hookup, but by mistake our main character ends up in his hands. From that moment, their fates become connected because the mafia has a strange medical condition that disappears the instant our main character comes close to him. So what is the mystery behind all of this? Chapter 1 begins where our main character is telling us his story. It was a very ordinary weekend, but something happened that day which I hadn't even imagined in my dreams. Then he says, I wish I had never listened to my mom and gone on that blind date. Then this wouldn't have happened to me today. And we see our main character sitting inside a car with a suited and booted guy sitting right beside him. Our main character says, I came on this blind date because my mom told me to, but my rotten luck gave me this man whose face literally screams danger. You guys tell me yourselves, doesn't he look like some roadside goon or a mafia boss? And the worst part is that he dragged me into his car, and now he's not even letting me leave. Then he dramatically says, so is this it? Is my life ending right here? Will the life of this innocent poor guy finish just like this? And with that, our story directly jumps to the past. Now we find out how our main character ended up inside a stranger mafia's car. The past scene starts by showing our main character whose name is Keshu. He is a regular office worker who also has a side business. He uploads online cooking videos. We see him surrounded by a lot of old people. They are asking him many questions about his job and about himself. Our innocent main character is answering all of them. One person asks him, how old are you? He replies that he is 27 years old. Then an old lady asks him, what have you come here for? Keshu tells her that this is his blind date. Hearing this, all of them get very excited and ask, is this your first blind date? Our main character shyly answers them, and those old people immediately start trying to set him up with their own children. Suddenly one lady says, will you date me on this? Keshu nervously replies, Auntie, don't you think your age is a bit too much? And the story immediately shifts to the morning. It's 8 in the morning. We see our main character sleeping peacefully. His mom comes in, opens the window, and shouts like a lioness, you have turned 27, and I still have to take care of you. If this continues, how will you ever get married? How will you make your own family? You sleep till 8 in the morning, reach the office late, and don't pay attention to anything. Which girl will marry you? On this, Keshu tells his mom, do you think no one will marry me? Mom, I am only 27 years old. Look how many girls would want to marry me. Seeing this, his mom immediately kicks him out of the house and says, how dare you talk back to me and say such nonsense? Get out of my house right now! And don't come back tonight until you start dating someone. Find a girl for yourself, only then come back home. After that, we see our main character again. Now it's 6 in the evening. He is casually eating something while walking. And then our main character says, is it really necessary that we go on dates, get married, and have kids? He continues. Today is my birthday, yet I still have to go through all this. I feel like a carrot or a radish kept in the market. Anyone can just pick me up whenever they want. No one pays attention to me. No one cares who I am or what I am. People just want me to get married quickly. But every day I wake up, go to work, come straight home. Nothing changes. I just keep working, working, and working. I feel like I will live and die alone like this. I don't think I will ever find someone with whom I can share my feelings of love. After that, he looks at the box in his hands and starts thinking, I am very scared. I don't have enough courage to tell anyone what I like. I feel like I should give up on my dreams and on my feelings before everything gets ruined and comes to an end. From Keshu's words, we still don't fully understand what he is talking about. What is that thing he is hiding from everyone and refusing to tell anyone? But one thing is clear. This matter is troubling him a lot. That's why he looks very sad and is walking around feeling depressed. Suddenly he bumps into someone. We see a very dangerous-looking man standing right in front of him. Keshu gets extremely scared just by looking at him. Starts trembling and says, friends, my story ends here. I have bumped into some goon or gangster. God knows what is going to happen to me now, and he immediately starts imagining that the person standing in front of him is a dangerous gangster. But for some reason, that man pretends as if he already knows Keshu and immediately asks, "Is this your first time?" Keshu gets completely confused and starts thinking, "Is this guy asking whether this is my first blind date?" So Keshu immediately replies, "Yes, this is my first time on a blind date." As soon as he hears that, the man says, "Come with me," without wasting another second. He grabs Keshu's hand, drags him along, and makes him sit inside his car. Now we see both of them sitting silently inside the car. But that man keeps staring only at Keshu. Meanwhile, Keshu is trembling badly with fear. Obviously, if a complete stranger suddenly drags you into his car, anyone would be scared. Keshu is frightened for exactly the same reason. Inside his mind, he keeps thinking, "Why am I feeling so scared all of a sudden? Why am I so nervous? I think this man misunderstood me. He probably thought I was someone else and brought me into his car." Meanwhile, the other man maintains a completely expressionless poker face. Looking straight at Keshu, he asks, "What are you doing here? Do you even know what happens at this place?" Since Keshu came there for a blind date, he naturally assumes this must be the place where blind dates happen. So he confidently replies, "Yes, I know what happens here. My mom herself told me to come here." Hearing this, the man looks at him and says, "Oh, so your mom sent you," before Keshu can even react. The man suddenly moves closer and grabs him tightly. Keshu is completely shocked. Then we see the man holding Keshu's hand and pulling him closer. Keshu has absolutely no idea what is happening, but in the very next moment, the man makes Keshu sit right on top of his lap. Now Keshu is sitting directly on him. Then the man calmly says, "If you are new, that's not a problem. You will slowly learn everything. I will teach you." Keshu doesn't understand a single thing. He is just about to ask something when suddenly the man removes Keshu's glasses. Now Keshu can't see anything properly. Everything around him becomes blurry. He immediately says, "Please give me back my glasses. I can't see anything without them." But instead of returning them, the man suddenly moves forward and starts kissing him. Keshu struggles with all his strength to free himself, but he simply can't. Inside his mind, he thinks, "How is this man so unbelievably strong? I can't do anything against him." No matter how hard he tries, he fails to escape. After some time, the man himself finally lets Keshu go. Then he casually asks, "So, are we going to do everything right here inside the car? Or do you want to go somewhere else?" But it is obvious from Keshu's face that he is not happy at all. In the very next scene, Keshu suddenly smashes his forehead hard into the man's face. He hits him with full force just to bring him back to his senses. Then he immediately jumps out of the car. While crying, he thinks, "I came here for a blind date. But this guy practically made me blind and even stole my first kiss. He looks decent, wears expensive clothes, owns a nice car, but his behavior is completely like an animal." And with that, Keshu runs away from there. On the other side, that man is sitting there holding his nose and says, "Have my skills become so useless that someone actually ran away while I was kissing him? Did I really make him feel that uncomfortable?" Then he looks down and starts thinking, "Anyway, what I wanted to happen didn't happen. I didn't feel that thing at all. Looks like this was completely useless. It didn't work on me either." Just then, his eyes fall on the box Keshu left behind. He picks it up and says, "Maybe that boy accidentally left this box here." As soon as he opens the box, he finds cookies inside. Looking at one of them in surprise, he says, "What kind of cookie is this? It isn't even made properly." Was he trying to make a bear or a dog? In the next scene, we see the same man talking to someone over the phone. His friend Udong asks, "I arranged a boy for you. Did you meet him?" The man replies, "He was completely useless. He wasted my time and nothing happened. I think all of this is totally pointless. You should stop trying." Hearing this, the person on the other side immediately teases him and says, "What do you mean it was useless? Have you gotten tired so quickly? I didn't know you get exhausted this fast." Then he immediately corrects himself. "I didn't mean it like that. I wasn't saying you're weak." After that, he continues, "What do you mean my hard work was useless? Don't you know I'm doing all of this only for you?" He goes on, "I know you don't get excited, but you have to cure this problem. Otherwise, the whole world is going to laugh at you." Finally, we get to know this mysterious man's name. His name is Morning, and he is our second main lead. Morning is a powerful mafia lord. He has a strange medical condition. No matter whether he is with a man or a woman, he simply cannot get excited. And if he doesn't get excited, he can't perform. His body doesn't react the way it normally should. His friend Udang has been trying everything possible to help him overcome this problem. The friend wants Morning to cure this weakness somehow and gain some experience so that he can finally become normal again. After all, he is a mafia boss, and if people find out about this weakness, the entire underworld will make fun of him. While explaining all of this, the friend continues talking, but Morning suddenly says, "So now you're taking advantage of my weakness and making fun of me too." As he says this, Morning casually picks up one of Keshu's cookies and takes a bite. The moment he bites into the cookie, he suddenly freezes in shock. It feels as if a powerful storm rushes through his entire body. A strange sensation spreads everywhere. For the first time in years, he suddenly becomes extremely excited. That simple cookie has such a powerful effect on him that his body starts reacting the way a normal man's body should. After such a long time, he can finally feel sensations in that specific part of his body again. Tears immediately fill Morning's eyes. Still in complete shock, he says to his friend while crying, "I think I have finally found the cure for my illness." His friend is completely stunned and asks, "What happened to you all of a sudden? Did you really find the cure for your illness? Tell me what happened," but Morning doesn't answer him. He silently wipes away his tears. He looks down at that part of his body, becomes serious and says, "Boy, I will eat every single one of your cookies now. If I ever see you anywhere again, you'd better be careful, because I am going to eat all your cookies." Chapter 2 begins with us seeing Keshu sitting in his office looking quite sad. He was already troubled because of everything that happened that day, and today he got scolded badly at work as well. His boss always finds one excuse or another to put him down, making Keshu's office life completely miserable. One of Keshu's co-workers notices him sitting quietly and asks, "How are you doing? You've been upset since morning." "Is it because of the morning meeting?" Keshu replies, "No, it's nothing like that. I'm fine." The co-worker comforts him and says, "Our boss Thames always blames others for his own mistakes. So you shouldn't take his words to heart." Then that co-worker starts talking with the others, and Keshu finds out that boss Thames is about to be transferred. That's why he has been in such a bad mood lately, and is taking out all his frustration on everyone else. Keshu is surprised to hear that the boss who constantly troubled him is finally getting transferred. Suddenly, a girl walks over to Keshu and says, "Aren't you wearing your glasses today? You actually look really good without them." But then she notices the injury on his lips and immediately asks, "What happened to your lips?" The moment Keshu realizes there is still an injury on his lips, he quickly covers his mouth. He starts blushing badly and remembers that strange gangster from the other day. That kiss was exactly how he ended up hurting his lips. Keshu feels extremely embarrassed. His co-workers immediately begin teasing him. "Our little Keshu has started dating someone too." Everyone laughs and jokes around with him. Feeling shy, Keshu says, "All of you should focus on your own work. Anyway, I have to leave early today, so I'm not staying. If anyone has any work for me, give it to me quickly." In the next scene, we see Keshu looking at a calendar where one particular date is marked. He quietly thinks, "Today is that day, no matter what happens. I have to leave the office early today. Soon it is almost 5 in the evening." One of his colleagues is about to hand him some work, but the moment she turns around, Keshu has already disappeared. The clock has struck 5, and he has already run away from the office. In the next scene, we see Keshu running as fast as he possibly can. He is rushing forward without stopping. During this rush, he accidentally bumps into a man. Without even looking up, he immediately apologizes and continues running. The man's companion quickly asks, "Mr. Morning, are you all right?" "I'll bring that boy back right now and make him apologize." Morning calmly replies, "I'm fine. There's no need for that." This is how we find out that Morning has come to the area near Keshu's office. In the next scene, Keshu is still running. Completely out of breath, he finally reaches his destination. The moment he arrives, his face lights up with happiness. Right in front of him is a packet of bread. It is a limited edition bread that is only sold for a very short period of time. Keshu absolutely loves eating it. Happily reaching toward it, he says, "Good thing I left the office early today. Otherwise, I would never have been able to buy this bread. But before he can grab it, another hand reaches it first. The person standing there is none other than Morning. The moment Keshu sees him, his happy expression disappears. Morning casually says, "So you've started eyeing these things too." As soon as Keshu turns completely and recognizes Morning, he is shocked. He immediately thinks, this is the same guy from that day. But what is he doing here? He quickly takes a step back and nervously says, "Are you some kind of stalker? What are you doing here? I'll call the police and report that you're following me." Then he stretches his hand forward and says, "Now quietly give me back my bread. I came here first. I saw it first. So it belongs to me." Morning silently keeps looking at Keshu. Keshu is obviously very frightened. Morning calmly replies, "If you wanted this bread, you should have come earlier. I picked it up before you, so now it belongs to me. But if you come outside and talk with me for a while, I'll give it to you." Keshu starts thinking. "I rushed out of the office early just to buy this bread, even after coming this quickly. I still couldn't get it. If I go to another shop now, there's no chance I'll find it." Finally, he decides to talk with this strange gangster just to get the bread. He walks outside and says, "Fine. Now tell me what you wanted to say." Morning is standing there smoking while looking at him. Keshu is still scared, but he keeps encouraging himself. "I need to stay brave. I shouldn't be afraid. There are so many people around here anyway. This gangster won't dare do anything." While Keshu is thinking all of this, he suddenly hears the voices of his office co-workers. They are coming in this direction while saying, "Keshu ran away from the office early again." He always does this. The moment Keshu realizes that his colleagues are coming this way, he completely panics. He starts thinking, what should I do now? If they see me standing with this gangster, what will they think? I'll never be able to explain why I'm here with him. Without thinking any further, Keshu immediately starts pushing Morning. Morning looks genuinely surprised. Keshu forcefully presses him against the wall and quickly stands in front of him. Morning's heart starts beating faster, but his face remains completely expressionless. Keshu quietly waits until all of his co-workers walk past them. After everyone leaves, he finally lets out a sigh of relief and says, "My co-workers weren't even supposed to come here today. So why did they suddenly come to this shop?" Morning quietly watches everything Keshu did and calmly says, "If you don't let me go, I'll call the police and tell them you're stalking me." The moment Keshu hears that, he starts sweating. He immediately steps back, apologizes, and thinks, why did I do that? I shouldn't have gotten so close to him. Maybe I should just snatch the bread and run away. But then he changes his mind and decides to hear what Morning has to say. Looking at him, Keshu asks, "So tell me, what exactly did you want to talk about?" Morning quietly looks into Keshu's eyes. Feeling uncomfortable, Keshu immediately looks away. Then Morning finally says, "About what happened the other day. I want to sincerely apologize to you. I mistook you for someone else. I thought you were the person my friend arranged for me. That's why I forcibly dragged you into my car and did all of that. I sincerely apologize from the bottom of my heart. Please forgive me." Keshu can't believe what he is hearing. He starts thinking, did this gangster seriously come all the way here just to apologize to me? After a moment, Keshu replies, "I've heard what you had to say. If there's nothing else, I have to leave now." As he says that, he stretches out his hand toward the bread. Morning quietly watches him. Keshu immediately snatches the packet, but before he can run away, Morning suddenly grabs both of his hands tightly and pushes him against the wall. Tears immediately begin forming in Keshu's eyes. He thinks, now I'm finished. Even God won't be able to save me this time, like a little mouse caught by a cat. Keshu nervously wonders, what does he want now? He already apologized. I even forgave him. Then why is he stopping me again? Suddenly, Morning slowly reaches inside his coat. Seeing that movement, Keshu becomes terrified. It looks extremely scary. Keshu goes into complete shock and thinks, this is the end of my life. My story is about to end here. He even starts saying goodbye to his mother in his mind because he is convinced that this gangster is about to kill him. But then, instead of taking out a weapon, Morning pulls out Keshu's glasses and the box from last time. Handing them over, he says, you left these in my car that day. I came here to return them. Then he continues, that's actually great. Would you like to sell those cookies to me? You can sell every cookie you make to me. The moment Keshu sees Morning smiling, he freezes inside his heart. He thinks, why is he smiling like that? I cook. What's so funny about that? Why is he showing his teeth like that? Suddenly, painful memories from his childhood come rushing back. Whenever he used to cook, boys would laugh at him and say, cooking is girls' work. Boys shouldn't cook. Everyone used to make fun of him. Because of that, Keshu never tells anyone that he enjoys cooking. He truly believes everyone will laugh at him. Meanwhile, Morning is still smiling and says, just tell me how much money you want. I'm willing to pay whatever price you ask for those cookies. Morning is still smiling and says, just tell me how much money you want. I'm ready to pay whatever price you ask for those cookies. But the moment Keshu hears those words, he immediately puts on his glasses. Without any warning, he throws a powerful punch straight into Morning's face. While punching him, Keshu angrily shouts, you're laughing a lot, aren't you? You think it's funny that a boy cooks fine? Then let me give you a little demonstration of my cooking. After landing the punch, Keshu immediately turns around and starts running away while shouting, help! Somebody save me. Morning simply stands there watching him disappear. Trying to stop him is completely useless. A few moments later, Morning wipes the blood from his nose and says in annoyance, this is the second time that brat has hit me. Blood slowly drips from his nose as he continues. That idiot keeps punching me and then running away every single time. After calming himself down a little, Morning immediately calls his friend Yang. As soon as Yang answers the phone, he says, now what problem have you gotten yourself into that you're suddenly remembering me? Morning calmly replies, I need you to do a small job for me. I'll send you someone's photo. I want every single piece of information about him. Find everything and send it to me. We finally see Yang. He has a handsome face, and after hearing Morning's request, he smiles and says, you've come to the right person. Consider your work already done. The scene immediately changes. Now we're shown an underground basement where several people are fighting. One of the men rushes toward his boss and says, boss, someone has defeated all of our men and is coming inside. The person who beat everyone is none other than Morning. He has come here to collect the money that belongs to him. Morning calmly walks inside. The boss immediately greets him and says, Mr. Morning, please come inside, sit down, and let's discuss everything peacefully. There's no need to destroy the entire place over every small issue. Morning remains completely silent. The boss smiles again and continues, Mr. Morning, please forgive my men's rude behavior. They didn't know who you were. That's why they tried to stop you. We've been doing business together for a long time. I hope such a small misunderstanding won't ruin our relationship. Come inside, have some tea with me. Then we'll discuss our business properly. Morning coldly replies, Stop wasting my time and return my money. I'll leave quietly after that. The man laughs and says, Money is just dirt on your hands. It comes today and disappears tomorrow. Why destroy such a long relationship over a little money? Then he immediately orders one of his subordinates, Wong, go and bring a few beautiful girls who can entertain Mr. Morning. After saying that, the man gives Morning a mocking smile and says, Oh, forgive me. I completely forgot that you have a medical problem. You can't even sleep with anyone anymore. Can you? Such a waste of youth, Mr. Morning. I don't think there are any signs of manhood left in you anymore. After saying those words, he starts laughing proudly. Morning quietly keeps staring at him without saying a single word. The man continues smiling arrogantly and says, Forgive me if I said something wrong, Mr. Morning, but tell me, did I actually lie about anything? This time, Morning finally loses his patience, without giving the man even a second to react. Morning grabs him by the head and slams his face violently onto the table. Now Morning's expression is completely different. The cold look in his eyes has turned into pure rage. He had tolerated this man's disrespect long enough, but now that line has been crossed. Pressing the man's head against the table, Morning says in a terrifying voice, Tell me the password to your locker. This is the only chance you'll ever get. Open your mouth now, otherwise, in the future, you won't be able to speak ever again. I'll silence you forever. The frightened man immediately shouts at his subordinates, What are you idiots standing around for? Kill this bastard, and with that, Chapter 2 comes to an end. Today's chapter begins with us seeing Morning sitting inside a bar with his friend Yang. Morning is continuously drinking one glass of alcohol after another. Yang looks quite annoyed and says, "Can't you leave such small jobs to your subordinates? Have you ever seen a mafia boss personally going to collect money?" We see an injury on Morning's face. He coldly replies, "Stop talking nonsense." Meanwhile, his assistant is quietly glaring at both of them. After a while, Morning asks, "I told both of you to find information about that boy. What did you find out?" A mischievous smile immediately appears on Yang's face. He says, "So you still can't forget that boy?" "Huh, fine. Let me tell you everything clearly. That day I arranged beautiful girls for you, not a boy. God knows how you ended up meeting a boy instead. Not only that, you even dragged him into your car. Then, with a teasing smile, he adds, "So you fell in love with him at first sight. Didn't you? Come on, tell me I'm right." Hearing this, the assistant immediately starts sweating. Inside his mind, he thinks, so our boss likes boys. Does that mean he's actually gay? Of course. He doesn't dare say those words out loud. Otherwise, his boss would beat him to death. Meanwhile, Morning is trapped in his own thoughts. If I say yes, I'm finished. If I say no, I'm still finished. Most importantly, I can't let my assistant find out about my illness. Yang, on the other hand, is fully enjoying the situation. He keeps teasing Morning and says, "Why are you so quiet, Morning? Did I say something wrong?" Morning lowers his head and angrily replies, "You donkey's child, do you really want me to open my mouth here?" Morning doesn't want anyone, especially his assistant, to ever find out about his strange illness. He also doesn't want anyone to know that his illness completely disappears whenever Keshu comes close to him. To hide the truth, even though he doesn't want to, Morning finally says, "Yes, I like him, and I can do anything to make him mine." But while saying those words, he feels extremely uncomfortable trying to hide his embarrassment. He immediately drinks another glass of alcohol. The assistant has already reached his own conclusion. He now believes that his boss is actually gay. A few moments later, Yang hands Morning a file containing all of Keshu's information. Inside his mind, Yang thinks, "Let's see how long you can keep acting like this." Finally, Morning learns Keshu's full name, his age, his job, and also the fact that he uploads cooking videos online immediately. Morning starts discussing a plan with Yang and his assistant. In the next scene, we see Keshu sitting in front of his computer. He has just uploaded a brand new video, smiling to himself, he thinks. "I worked really hard on today's video. I should get lots of likes and comments this time." Unfortunately, no matter how much effort he put into it, the video gets almost no views, no likes, and hardly any comments. Seeing this, Keshu becomes very sad. His little cat quietly comes over to comfort him. Later that night, Keshu lies in bed feeling completely depressed. He thinks, no matter how much effort I put in, no matter how good my videos are, nobody watches them. Maybe I should just give up? Suddenly, his phone rings with a notification. The moment he checks it, his eyes widen in shock. A huge company has sent him an offer. They want to sponsor his YouTube channel and help promote his videos. Keshu becomes unbelievably happy. He can't believe what he's seeing. He excitedly thinks, how did something like this happen all of a sudden? In the next scene, we see Keshu in that big company for the interview, but he is very scared here and soon we find out why. Because around him we see lots of dangerous gun-type people. Keshu starts thinking, I've been fooled again. It feels like these people aren't going to give me a job, they'll scam me. Take out my kidney and sell it. Then the company owner arrives and it's none other than Yang. Seeing him, Keshu gets really shocked. Yang comes and sweetly asks, "Did I make you wait too long? How do you like our office?" Keshu replies that everything is very good, then fearfully asks, "Who are those people outside?" Yang fools him and says, "They are our Korean pop idols." But then Keshu comes to the point and asks, "So tell me, why do you want to give me a job?" "I'm not some big influencer." Yang smiles and answers, "Our company is thinking of supporting not just actors, singers, and dancers, but also some YouTubers so that in the future our company becomes even bigger. This project has just started, so we're looking for some good influencers. That's when we found out about you. You make really good videos. So we thought we should give this opportunity to you first." Here Yang is saying all this very sweetly. The assistant thinks, isn't he overacting a bit too much? Then we see Yang placing a contract in front of Kesuke and saying, "Don't think too much. Our company is really good. Read it and sign it." Kesuke starts reading the contract. He sees everything is really good. Clothes, set, ingredients, everything will be provided, plus just for signing the contract. He will get 50,000? Seeing that, Kesuke gets extremely shocked. Because why would any company give $50,000 just at the time of giving work? Meanwhile, we see Ma Yuning in his office watching Kesuke through the cameras and smiling while thinking, "I was waiting for exactly this expression. How can anyone refuse so much money?" He will definitely agree. Ma Yuning was fully confident that Kesuke would sign without reading the contract properly. Just seeing the money, but Kesuke immediately puts the contract back on the table. Yang starts sweating and quickly says, "Why didn't you sign it? Do you want more money? Tell me I can negotiate and increase it." But Kesuke immediately refuses and says, No, you're misunderstanding. This contract is actually really good. But if you give me so much money, it'll be wrong for the company. I don't want you to suffer loss because of me," Yang says. "I think you're misunderstanding something." "Don't worry at all, we are not bad people. We won't trap you or scam you," Kesuke says. "No, that's not the issue. The contract is great and the money is great too. But if I start working for you and take so much money, I will have to make really good videos. The videos I make aren't that great, nor is the quality high. Plus, I'm a full-time office employee. I have to go to my job. Whatever little time I get, I make videos in that. But if I start making videos for you, I'll have to leave my real job, and the thing is, I make videos for my happiness if I make them bound by a contract. I won't feel any joy at all, because once I sign, no matter what, I'll have to make videos, but I don't want to make them under force." Hearing this, Yang keeps a fake smile on his face and says, "I can understand what you're saying," but in his mind, he's thinking, "Maoning, you donkey's kid. Where did you pick up this idiot from? Which sensible person refuses such a good contract and kicks their own stomach? Is his brain okay? How can anyone refuse 50,000? And then we see Keshu getting a call. He panics and says, "Sorry," and immediately runs away to take the call. Yang puts all the blame on the assistant and says, "He ran away because of your donkey-like face outside." We see Keshu has taken the call. It's from his mom. She says, "Idiot, where are you? I told you to come home early today. Your auntie is coming with her daughter. We were going to introduce you two today, right?" Keshu says, "Okay, I understood. I'll come home soon." But here, Keshu wants to share this big happiness with his mom and tell her that because of his videos, he's getting work from a big company. So he starts, "Mom, do you remember I make videos on YouTube?" But his mom doesn't want to hear any of it. She immediately cuts him off and says, "Are you still doing that useless work? When will you get some sense? You don't have much time left, your age is increasing, and you're wasting it on useless things. Go study properly, do a good course, get a decent job, but no. You want to waste your life like this? Do you always want to live in poverty? How many years has it been since you finished your studies? But till today, you haven't done any proper work, haven't got any good job. You don't even help with the paisa and household expenses. How long will you sit at home eating free food and burning my blood?" Keshu can't listen anymore. He immediately cuts the call and says, "I understood. You don't care about my feelings at all. My likes and dislikes don't matter to you. You want money, right? Now I'll show you how much money I can earn." Then in the next scene, we see Keshu going back into the meeting room with full confidence. Yang gets really panicked. Keshu looks at him and says, "I'm ready. I'll sign the contract right now." Seeing this, Mayong watching on camera, Yang and the assistant all get extremely shocked. The next scene starts. We see Keshu has come back home from his mom's place. He takes a bath, comes out and says, "I knew it. My mom was using the meeting excuse to introduce me to another girl." Then he immediately says, "My mom taunting me again and again, forcing me for marriage. It feels worse than going to my job." After that, he goes to the contract again, picks it up and starts reading. He thinks, "No matter how many times I've read it, I don't see any scam here. I don't think these people are going to cheat me." And at that moment, his eyes fall on a clause. He will get a personal manager who will live with him in his house. Keshu gets very happy and excited. He thinks, "Will I get the same boy I met in the office today?" Here Keshu is blushing while thinking about Yang and thinks, "That guy was really handsome." And suddenly the doorbell rings. Keshu thinks, "Who has come to my house so late at night?" He slowly opens the door and peeks. We see Maoning standing right in front of him. Keshu gets really shocked. Maoning says, "Good evening. I am your new personal manager." This is how we find out that starting today, Maoning is going to live with Keshu, which he was very happy about. But Keshu is super scared and says, "How do you keep showing up everywhere I go?" And here this chapter ends. Guys, just like we saw in the previous chapter, Kosuke signs the contract with Shuyang Entertainment. After that, he finds out that Mayoung is going to be his personal manager. So, Chapter 5 starts with us seeing Mayoung giving his introduction to Kosuke and telling him that from today, he is his personal manager, but Kosuke immediately gets scared and starts closing his room door, shouting, "You psycho stalker, how did you reach here too? If you don't leave right now, I'm definitely calling the police this time." Seeing Kosuke trying to shut the door, Mayoung gets worried and immediately grabs the door, which scares Kosuke even more. He backs away in fear, trembling badly. We see Mayoung walking straight towards him. Now Mayoung has forcibly entered his house. Meanwhile, Kosuke slowly keeps moving backwards. Suddenly, his foot hits something and he starts falling backwards, but as he's falling, he grabs Mayoung's clothes, and as Kesuke falls, Mayoung also falls right on top of him. Here again, we see Mayoung immediately covering Kosuke's mouth with his hand and creepily telling him, "Even if you scream your lungs out here, no one will be able to save you." And with one hand, he holds both of Kesuke's hands so he can't move. After that, we see Kosuke has fainted. Mayoung is slapping him to wake him up and saying, "Open your eyes." As soon as Kesuke regains consciousness, he sees Mayoung has put his phone on his face. Kosuke immediately gets up and looks at the phone. It's a call from Dong Yang, the CEO of Yang Entertainment here. We see Yang completely drenched in sweat. He tells Kosuke, "That tall, broad, trustworthy, and handsome man you're seeing, his name is Mayoung, and he's going to be your personal manager." When he says trustworthy, Kosuke thinks, how does he look trustworthy to you? But Yang completely ignores Kosuke's words and says, if he's not trustworthy, he's definitely handsome, right? Kosuke immediately tells him, that's not the point. No matter what, I can't make him my personal manager. Anyway, tell me, do I really have to share my house with him? Yang replies, you go to your job all day, so Mayoung will only stay with you at night. Since you make videos at night, he'll assist you. And if you have trouble with him staying in the house, we can even buy a bigger house for you. You just shine and give orders to him. He'll listen to everything you say. Keshu is about to say something, but by then Yang has already hung up. Here we see Mayoung staring at Keshu, and Keshu is thinking, a mouse has gotten trapped in a cat's net. After that, Mayoung starts going inside the house, and Keshu just sits there quietly. While going in, Mayoung says, do you have something to eat? I'm really hungry. Now Keshu gives Mayoung some cookies and instant coffee. Seeing that, Mayoung says, you're a food blogger, right? And this useless food is lying in your house, Keshu replies. If it's food, eat it. If not, there's the door. Take your path and leave. I'll continue with the next part from, but then Mayoung notices that Keshu is still very scared of him. So Mayoung tells him, relax, why are you so scared of me? I'm not going to eat you anyway. Whatever happened between us before was a misunderstanding, and besides, you don't need to think so much about it because you're not my type at all. On this, Keshu immediately looks at him and says, I'm not your type. How can you say that? But Mayoung ignores his words and starts eating the cookies that Keshu made, praising them a lot, but then Keshu notices Mayoung and sees a part of his body reacting. He understands that Mayoung is getting really excited. On the surface, he smiles and says, thank you, but in his mind, he's thinking, this idiot lies so perfectly. The moment he looked at me, his body reacted and he got so excited, and he's telling me I'm not his type. Who is he trying to fool? After that, we see Mayoung casually enjoying the cookies. But Keshu is thinking, I've really messed with the wrong guy. Then we see Mayoung suddenly starting to take off his clothes. Keshu panics badly, immediately stands up to run away, thinking, now he's definitely going to eat me. He's definitely planning something evil. Meanwhile, Mayoung looks at him and thinks, this idiot boy, why is he so scared of me? If his cookies didn't cure my illness, I wouldn't even give him a second thought. Then Mayoung immediately lies down on the couch and says, Anyway, you don't need to worry. I'm not going to stay here for long. Just for a few days, then I'll leave. And suddenly, the cat empties its stomach right on Mei-young and runs away. Mei-young is left shocked, Keshu says. My cat always does this when she doesn't like someone. Then Mei-young gets up and says, Now I think I'll have to use your shower. Two! Keshu gets surprised hearing this and says, Are you going to bathe here? But another thing scaring him a lot is that the cat already emptied on the couch. That means this psycho is going to sleep on the bed with him now. After that, Ma-young goes to take a bath. Meanwhile, Keshu comes to his bed and starts cursing himself. Why did I fall for the greed and go to that company? Then he thinks, if I had never gone on that blind date, I wouldn't have met this goon, and my life wouldn't have come into such a dangerous situation. He keeps cursing himself in thousands of ways. That he shouldn't have done this, shouldn't have done that. Now Keshu is crying and wetting the bed, thinking, the partnership I signed with that company, I put my thumbprint on my own death warrant with my own hands. Keshu is crying over his bad luck and soaking his bed. Then we see Mei-young in the bathroom shouting, Can I wear your clothes? But Keshu doesn't hear him. He's on his bed very panicked. Mei-young comes out and asks, Do you have some clothes I can wear? But then his eyes fall on Keshu, who is trembling badly in fear. Now Mei-young starts thinking, Am I really that scary that this boy is shaking so much because of me? Keshu keeps feeling again and again that Mei-young will come to him now, get on the bed. He's extremely scared. But then Ma-young says goodnight to him. Keshu gets really surprised. And we see Mei-young has fallen asleep on Keshu's couch, exactly on the spot where the cat had already made it wet. Keshu is also very surprised by this gesture. The scene cuts here, and the next scene directly shows the morning. Keshu has woken up because his alarm is ringing. He gets up and starts moving forward. But then his eyes fall on Mei-young, seeing him. He panics a lot and immediately goes towards Ma-young. He's staring at him with wide eyes. Then he sits near Mei-young and thinks, He didn't even try to come near me. He apologizes to Mei-young, saying, Forgive me for misunderstanding you. Then Keshu looks at him and thinks, Sleeping on the couch must have been really painful and uncomfortable. The poor guy slept on the couch all night. Looks like he's also a salary guy like me, works in an office, not some gangster. I shouldn't have judged him by his looks, and Keshu looks at him with a very cute smile. Then he immediately gets up and leaves, thinking, Now it's time for my office. As soon as Keshu leaves, we see Mei-young opening his eyes, which tells us that Mei-young was only pretending to sleep all this time. Mei-young says, Good thing I woke up an hour ago. Then we're shown the night scene again, where Mei-young is trying hard to sleep on the sofa, tossing and turning, but sleep isn't coming at all. Finally tired, he gets up and thinks, This couch is so useless and so small. How much trouble I'm having sleeping here. Why am I doing so much for this idiot boy? And on top of that, his snoring is troubling me. Then Mei-young gets up from there and goes near Keshu. Seeing him, he says, This boy looks quite innocent. But he snores like an animal. And Mei-young says, Anyway, forgive me. I'm not doing this to bully or trouble you. And he immediately pushes Keshu against the wall like that and comfortably sleeps on the bed. Poor Keshu is stuck against the wall. After that, we see Mei-young waking up after Keshu leaves. While wearing Keshu's clothes, he thinks, This boy goes to the office so early. Then Mei-young is about to go freshen up. But his eyes fall on breakfast. Keshu had made something spicy for him and left a note. Forgive me for misunderstanding you. Let's start everything again and live nicely. Mei-young happily starts eating it and finds it very tasty, but as soon as he eats, Mei-young gets excited again. Now in the next scene, we see Keshu in his office looking very happy, but then something feels strange to him. He asks his co-worker, What's happening here? The colleague tells him, Our new boss is coming, and everyone is hoping it's not some dangerous guy who will force overtime. Then their new boss arrives and is introduced as Mr. Zhang, the new boss here. We see Mr. Zhang looking straight at Keshu, and Keshu quietly stands at the back. The scene cuts here. And the next scene shows Ma Yuning meeting his friend Yang. He gives him some food. Yang says, What nonsense stuff have you brought here? And Yang tells him, If you come again without telling me, I won't meet you at all. You know I have to run a business. But then Yang immediately starts flirting with Ma Yuning and says, If you want, I'll leave all this and make time for you. But for that, you'll have to take care of me, so tell me. Are you ready to take care of me? Ma Yuning slaps his face and says, take care of you in your dreams. Stop your nonsense and come to the point. Look, I brought food made by Keshu. Go check it and find out what's in it that cures my illness. But then Yang tells him, there's nothing special in these cookies or food that can fix your problem. You have a psychological condition that's making you feel like it's curing you. So you don't need to worry. Anyway, you get cured by eating those cookies. Hearing this, Ma Yuning also gets into deep thought. Then Yang says, anyway, don't worry, just stay with him, and I'll slowly figure out your psychological condition, and we'll treat it. Staying with him can be very beneficial for you. Anyway, Keshu is quite innocent and cute. It'll be fun being strict with him. On this, Ma Yuning also thinks and says, yeah, Keshu's skin is really soft. But then he realizes and says, wait, how long do you want me to stay with him? Yang jokingly says, a few months or a full year, your choice? You can stay with him as long as you want, Ma Yuning says. Even if I want to, you won't keep me with him. He'll kick me out of the house soon. Hearing this, Yang gets really surprised and smiles, saying, he really thought I was serious when I said he has to stay with Keshu for a year. Whatever I say, he believes it immediately. Then he immediately tells Ma Yuning, just take care of him, behave nicely, try to be a bit charming. Woo him so he agrees to keep you with him. And the scene cuts there. The next scene shows Keshu returning home. He thinks, ever since this new boss came, my life has become even more troubled. And on top of that, the danger living in my house. I'm stuck between a well and a ditch. Keshu is trying to enter his house. Then we see a couple coming behind him. Keshu doesn't want to hear their talk. But they're talking very loudly. The boy and girl look very close. Their loving talks and actions surprise Keshu a lot, and he feels a bit jealous. He thinks, I wish there was someone in my life who cared about me this much. After that, Keshu somehow reaches his house as soon as he looks to the side. He sees Mei Young standing right there. Mei Young was waiting for him. As soon as Mei Young sees Keshu, he remembers Yang's words that he has to woo him. He sweetly says, welcome home. Keshu gets really surprised and says with a cute smile, thank you so much, and here this chapter ends. Today's chapter summary of Don't Eat My Cookies Manhwa starts with a scene. Keshu sending some of his earned money to his mom. But as always, his mom is insisting he get married, which he ignores, and starts having dinner with Ma Oning. Suddenly, Ma Oning tells him, I need to talk to you about something. Ma Oning feels that Keshu is troubled by him staying there. He wanted to talk about that, and also that he doesn't like the food Keshu makes. Keshu thinks maybe Ma Oning is going to fire him from the job, so he gets really worried. Then he shouts at Ma Oning, whatever you want, I'll do it. You can stay here as long as you want. Just don't fire me from the job. Ma Oning understands that Keshu isn't going to kick him out of the house, so he says, okay then, let's eat now. Let's forget about this. After dinner, Ma Oning tells Keshu, you cooked, so I'll wash the dishes. Keshu gets really surprised. Then he goes to put an apron on Ma. While doing that, Keshu's eyes fall on Ma Oning's body, and he realizes Ma Oning is quite excited. Seeing that, Keshu gets scared and immediately runs to hide in the bathroom. In his mind, Keshu is thinking, why does Ma Oning get excited every time he looks at me? It doesn't take him long to understand maybe Ma Oning likes him. Then he immediately comes out and starts staring at Ma Oning very sweetly. Ma Oning asks, what happened to you? Keshu says, thank you so much, bro. Hearing the word bro, Ma Oning gets extremely shocked. This tells us that Keshu is about to put Ma Oning in the bro zone. Now Keshu tells Ma Oning, I can understand you. You can get excited anywhere. Anytime, that's your problem, right? And both of them start looking towards Ma Oning's lower part at the same time. Suddenly, Keshu asks, you're not going to say that all this is because of me, right? Ma Oning thinks, I can't tell him the truth. So he lies and says, yes, you're absolutely right. It's happening because of you. Keshu hugs him and says, no problem. I can understand you. You'll slowly get rid of these feelings. As soon as Kesuke's mom call ends, we see Ma Oning silently getting very angry. Then in anger he thinks, instead of doing all this, it would have been better if I just kidnapped this idiot, tied him with ropes, and made him make cookies as per my wish. Now the next scene directly shows nighttime. Kesuke has finished his work. His eyes fall on his cat. Who is with maoning, he thinks. Even this cat turned out to be a traitor. Then Kesuke goes near maoning and thinks, the poor guy works all day, yet he has to come here and sleep on my sofa. Plus his appearance is like that. People must misunderstand him a lot. Kesuke feels bad for maoning. So he wakes him up and says, bro, why don't you go sleep on my bed? First, maoning stares at him, then quietly gets up and goes to sleep on the bed. Kesuke gets very confused and thinks he's just like a puppy. He listens to whatever I say. In the next scene, we see maoning sleeping. Suddenly his eyes open, and he feels like a girl is on top of him. Maoning starts cuddling her. But as soon as he sees her face, it's Kesuke's face. He gets really scared and suddenly opens his eyes. We realize it was maoning's dream. In reality, we see Kesuke is clinging to maoning very closely. Maoning immediately gets up, runs away, and goes straight to the washroom. He thinks after so long I had a good dream. But even in that, his face appeared, I didn't know that staying with Dong Yang would turn me gay. The next morning, we see Keshu happily making breakfast. Maoning comes out. Still looking embarrassed because of the dream, Keshu notices his strange expression and asks, what happened? Why are you looking at me like that? Maoning immediately looks away, while Keshu starts laughing after remembering how he accidentally hugged Maoning in his sleep. Maoning looks at him and says, you're finding this very funny. Keshu starts laughing even louder, while Maoning quietly finishes the food and mutters, idiot. After that, both get ready and leave for their respective work now. We see Maoning immediately switching to a serious mafia look. He goes into an alley and calls one of his men. Then, he reaches a base where everyone is showing him a lot of respect. There, a mafia from another city is waiting for Maoning. Sitting on Maoning's own chair, Maoning glares at him angrily. But that mafia comes forward and says, it's been a long time. My old friend Maoning comes straight to the point and says, what are you doing in my area? Do you know your men are creating trouble here? The other mafia says, you know how our men are, they don't listen to anyone. You shouldn't get angry over such a small thing. Anyway, your men are also stealing my stuff. Did I say anything? Maoning angrily says, stop your nonsense, why would my men steal your stuff? The mafia, whose name is Leopard, says, I was just joking. Stop fighting over such small things, come, let's drink together. And he leaves. But he was glaring at Maoning in a very evil way. After he leaves, Maoning also realizes something is wrong. Is a war about to start between all the mafias? So he tells his man, keep an eye on Leopard. And tell our men to stay alert. Also, give that chair he was sitting on to him. His assistant gets very angry and thinks, my boss is completely childish. Now Maoning returns home soaked in the rain. Suddenly he hears shouting from inside, which panics him a lot. We hear Keshu calling for help. In the next scene, Maoning rushes inside hearing Keshu's voice. He thinks, did one of my enemies find out about this place and attack Keshu? But as soon as he looks inside, he sees Keshu crushed under a mattress. Maoning asks, what happened here? Keshu says, as soon as I came home, I found this mattress. When I opened it, I got stuck under it and couldn't get out. Maoning says, you're an idiot. If I hadn't come, who would have saved you? In the next scene, we see Mei spreading a sheet on that same mattress, thinking, I'm a mafia boss and I have to make my own bed. Then he thinks, I should rest for a while. But suddenly, Keshu jumps on the mattress and starts sleeping lovingly with his cat. Mei asks, what are you doing? Keshu says, I've seen on TV that people sleep like this on mattresses. Mei doesn't understand anything he's saying. But Keshu says, no problem, I was overthinking anyway. And Mei thinks, does he also want to work in a TV commercial? I can easily arrange that. Then both start talking about work together. Keshu is explaining his videos and recipes very nicely. He's very happy because finally he can share his passion with someone. Then he immediately asks Mei how did you like my idea? What do you say about it? Mei blushes, looks away, and says, it was really good, but Keshu misunderstands. He thinks Mei is avoiding eye contact because he doesn't care about his ideas. Keshu gets very sad and says, I admit because of me, you have to stay here and do this work. I'm sorry for that. I shouldn't have told you these ideas, Mei says. Don't worry, your ideas are really good. I'm the idiot who couldn't understand them, Keshu says. But Mr. Yang said you're experienced. Mei-young makes an excuse. I've never worked with an influencer. I've only worked with idols or film stars. Keshu realizes he misunderstood Mei-young again. So he says, no problem. It happens with everyone. Everyone has problems with new work. I can understand. Mei-young holds his hand and says, yes, exactly. Everyone has problems in the office. Today, a bastard took my chair from my office, Keshu says. Don't worry, I'll help you completely. I'll get you a new chair. Mei-young pats his head and says, you're really good, Keshu happily says. Let's give our best. Then we see both preparing for the video together. Keshu is explaining to Mei-young how to operate the camera properly. Then he starts shooting the video. At first, Keshu feels very embarrassed. But Mei-young gives him confidence, and he starts working hard making food. Suddenly, the blender stops working. He gets shocked. Ma Yuning comes and asks, what happened? Keshu says, the blender is broken. I think we should stop today's video here, Ma Yuning says. Don't worry, I'll help you. Just don't be sad. Keshu gets very happy and says, okay then, I'll make full use of your hands. This sounds weird to Ma Yuning, but we see Keshu is asking Ma Yuning to manually blend the batter. Ma Yuning gets very tired, but Keshu's work gets done. Though a bit messed up, Keshu says, leave it. We'll manage with today's video, but when Keshu checks the camera, there's no video, only one picture. Ma Yuning realizes his mistake and says, forgive me. I forgot to turn on the video. Keshu smiles and says, no problem. It's my fault too. I should have checked first, but Ma Yuning sees that Keshu is hiding his pain and sadness. All his hard work was wasted because of him. So Ma Yuning feels bad and says, whatever you want, tell me. I'm ready to do it for you. Keshu gets surprised and says, you don't need to, but Ma Yuning insists, tell me what you want. I'm ready to do it. Keshu starts backing away. Ma Yuning comes closer, gets very close and says, no need to be shy. Just tell me straight, what do you want? Keshu gets very panicked and fearfully says, I just want to go to a cafe. Its name is Pink Cafe. Ma Yuning immediately smiles and says, that's it. Come, let's go. In the next scene, we see Ma Yuning has brought Keshu to that cafe. Keshu feels very awkward, and we understand why. It's a slightly spicy cafe with beautiful boys wearing revealing clothes. It's an entertainment area. After that, they go inside. Ma Yuning is glaring angrily at Keshu because he didn't know it was such a place. Seeing Ma Yuning's anger, Keshu fearfully says, you yourself said you're ready to do whatever I want. I've never come to a place like this. That's why I asked to come here. Ma Yuning calms down and says, now that we're here, what else can we do? But he's cursing his assistant in his mind, thinking, that bastard should have told me what kind of place this is. And because Ma Yuning is thinking about him so much, his assistant starts sneezing non-stop and thinks, I didn't know my boss is so colorful, that he'd come to such a nice place. Meanwhile, Leopard, the mafia passing by, notices Ma Yuning's assistant and thinks, what is he doing here? An evil smile appears on his face. In the next scene, a boy is flirting with Keshu. Ma Yuning gets very angry seeing all this and thinks, Keshu looks so innocent, but his mind is full of dirty thoughts. He's flirting with these boys, but when I kissed him, he punched me. Then that waiter asks Keshu, what would you like to eat? I'm ready to bring everything. Ma Yuning angrily slams his hand on the table and says, bring us everything you have, bring it all here. Keshu says, we can't eat so much, Ma Yuning says. Then we'll pack it and take it home. Ma Yuning wants to get that boy away at any cost. But the boy happily leaves because Ma Yuning is spending a lot of money. Now, just as Ma Yuning wanted, everything arrives, which means a lot of boys come. Ma Yuning thought they'd bring food. But only 2 boys come, which disappoints him. Some boys are flirting with Ma Yuning, but he keeps moving away. Then Keshu asks, is this your first time here? Ma Yuning says, it's not like that, but from his reaction, Keshu understands it's his first time and starts smiling and laughing. Suddenly, a boy gets very close to Keshu, which shocks him. Before any boy can get closer to Keshu, Ma Yuning stops them all, angrily chases them away, and sits very close to Keshu, but here Keshu misunderstands again. He thinks Ma Yuning likes bodybuilder-type boys. That's why he rejected him earlier and said he's not his type. In the next scene, both finish and come out. Ma Yuning starts looking for his assistant. Keshu says, "Wasn't that your colleague? He left a long time ago." Ma Yuning starts sweating. Keshu says, "Come, let's take the subway." On the way, they pass a shop where Keshu sees some beautiful crockery. He wants to buy it, but it's very expensive. So he just admires it with his eyes. Keshu wants to show it to Ma Yuning too. But Ma Yuning is still in shock in his mind. He only has the image of Keshu getting close to those boys. Then Ma Yuning says, "Earlier, you were clinging so much to that boy. Go shopping with him anyway. I don't have time. And I've never dated anyone. So I don't know how shopping works." Keshu can't digest that and says, "Really? You've never dated anyone?" Ma Yuning angrily says, "I should ask you the same. Have you ever dated anyone? Because if you had, you'd know you don't take your girlfriend to a place like the one we went to today," Keshu shouts. "I've never had a girlfriend, so I don't know what to do," Ma Yuning angrily says. "You're so cute. How come you never had a girlfriend?" Keshu becomes quiet. A girl standing behind thinks these two lovers are fighting. Now Keshu angrily starts leaving, thinking, just because he's a bit taller and handsome, he thinks he can make fun of me, but Ma Yuning also finds Keshu very cute. In his mind, only Keshu's memories are coming, and he realizes when they first met he kissed Keshu. And Keshu has never dated anyone till today. That means Ma Yuning was his first kiss. Now Ma Yuning starts feeling that maybe he took advantage of Keshu wrongly. In the next scene, Keshu comes back angrily. Ma Yuning clears his words and says, "Even if you've never dated anyone, you'll quickly find someone good," Keshu thinks. "Yes, I know that very well." Then Ma Yuning says, "Anyway, I didn't know people like such places. When we went to that cafe today," Keshu tells him, "that place isn't famous just for boys. It's famous for its food. They make really good food, especially desserts. If I were a girl, I'd go there every time. Because I want to cook exactly like them. They make amazing food. I'm nothing compared to them." Ma Yuning comforts him and says, "You shouldn't think like that. The food you make is very unique. You shouldn't compare yourself to others." But Keshu misunderstands again and says, "Unique? Do you think my food is nonsense? If you think so, insult me directly. Don't insult me behind my back like this," Ma Yuning calmly explains. "Not at all. I'm not insulting you. Your food is really good. It's very important to me." Keshu gets really surprised. The next scene directly shows the subway. Both are in the train. Keshu starts feeling sleepy, Ma Yuning thinks. "It's been so many years since I sat in a subway or went on a proper date like this. It feels really good today." And then we see Keshu resting his head on Ma Yuning's shoulder and falling asleep, and here this chapter ends. So guys, with that, let's start today's chapter. We see Ma owning with an evil smile saying, "If you listen to everything I say, I won't hurt you at all, so come on. Spread your legs now." Then we're shown that Ma owning is holding a trimmer and pinning down Keshu's cat. He says, "Today I'm going to make you bald. Let's see after this how you ruin my clothes." And then a full-on fight starts between the two of them. But suddenly Keshu arrives, rescues his cat, and says, "Don't even think about troubling my cat while I'm," he angrily says. "Look what your cat did. It scratched my beautiful face." But Keshu takes his cat's side and says, "Cats do this all the time. Who told you to mess with her? You must have troubled her first, and she's taking revenge." This makes Ma owning even angrier. The poor guy gets very sad and thinks, "I've never felt this bad before. I'm getting scolded so much even without doing anything wrong. No one cares about me. He's really down." But then Keshu comes to comfort him. Ma owning angrily tells him to go away. Then Keshu gives him something to eat and says, "Eat this. Your mood will get better right away. And it's a very cute cat-shaped sandwich." Ma owning immediately starts eating it, and Keshu is taking his picture. As soon as Ma owning takes one bite of that sandwich, he sees heaven in front of him. He loves it, Keshu asks. "So tell me, how did it taste?" Ma owning starts nonstop praising it. Then Ma owning asks, "What did you put in this?" "It's absolutely amazing," Keshu says. "Go watch my videos. You'll find out." By the way, Keshu had already made and uploaded that video himself. And the scene cuts here. Now the next scene shows Keshu waking up suddenly. As soon as he checks his phone, he gets extremely shocked. He shouts to wake Ma owning. "Ma owning, get up quick. Look at this video. It has more than 20 lakh views." Ma owning says, "Yeah, nice dream. Go back to sleep." Keshu happily says, This isn't a dream. It's completely real. Both get super happy. Seeing Keshu so joyful makes Mei-young really happy, too. And the scene cuts here. The next episode shows Keshu's office. Someone comes and tells him, the new boss is calling you. When Keshu goes to talk to him, the boss asks, which project are you working on? Keshu says he hasn't been given any project yet. Suddenly, the boss asks, Keshu, how many drinks can you handle? Keshu gets really shocked by this question. Seeing that, the boss immediately tells him to leave. Keshu quietly goes away. As soon as he enters the washroom, he meets a boy there. Keshu tells him, no matter how hard I work in this office, nothing's going to happen for me. My boss doesn't like me at all. Then both wish each other good luck for work and go their separate ways. But that boy feels Keshu's voice is very familiar. After getting really tired, Keshu finally returns home and starts talking to his mom. He wants to tell her about his blog, but his mom doesn't listen at all and says, you should focus on your job. I want to introduce you to Auntie Lo's daughter. She's doing really well in life and has become a branch manager. I think you two should date, hearing this. Keshu again holds his head and thinks, it started again. Why doesn't she ever listen to me? I wanted to tell her my videos got 20 lakh views, but she never listens. Then we see Mei-young arriving there. Keshu notices him too. Mei-young looks at Keshu and remembers how happy he was in the morning. But now he looks so sad. Seeing that, Mei-young immediately goes and hugs him. Keshu gets really surprised and says, are you drunk? Why did you suddenly hug me? Mei-young says, you looked really down. I thought you needed comforting, so I did it. Do you feel better now? Hearing this, Keshu gets very surprised and says, yes, absolutely, I feel much better. We see Mei-young patting his head again. Then Mei-young avoids eye contact and asks, so now tell me I'm better than those boys you met at the cafes, right? This tells us Maoning was jealous of them. Then Maoning immediately gets up to leave and says, come on, quickly make something to eat. I'm really hungry. While sitting there, Maoning thinks, he asked why I hugged him. My wish I'll hug him whenever I want. Then he questions his own hands. But I also want to know why I hugged him. Now we directly see the scene after dinner. Maoning changes clothes and comes to sleep. His eyes fall on Keshu, who is still editing. He tells Keshu to sleep too. Keshu says, you go first. I'll come later. Meanwhile, we see Keshu blushing badly. He keeps remembering today's hug and can't forget it. That's why he's feeling very shy to face May. Keshu thinks, his hug felt really good to me. Then he immediately scolds himself. But I shouldn't think about this thought. After that, we see Maoning has fallen asleep. Keshu sits near him, looks at his face, and says, he looks so cute even while sleeping. Keshu says, he figured out so easily that I was sad and needed a hug. I can't even hide my feelings. Then Keshu looks at Maoning's chest and thinks, anyway, he doesn't like me, I'm not his type. But seeing Maoning like this, Keshu can't resist. He immediately goes near his chest to listen to his heartbeat. But as soon as Keshu does that, we see Maoning's heartbeat suddenly gets really fast. Keshu gets scared and immediately backs away. He panics so much that he jumps straight onto Maoning and goes to his own bed. Poor Maoning starts feeling like throwing up blood. Keshu, hiding under the sheet, thinks, what have I done? First I called him pervert and stalker, now what will he call me? And the scene cuts here. The next scene shows the next morning. Keshu suddenly wakes up and shouts, bro, you should have woken me up. Maoning is already making breakfast for him. Keshu immediately comes and starts eating. But he's clearly remembering last night's hug very well. Then he suddenly notices Maoning changing clothes. Keshu gets shocked seeing his body and starts staring at him with his mouth open. Drooling, Maoning immediately wipes his mouth and says, are you still sleeping? What are you doing at the dining table? Keshu thinks, I'm probably in big trouble. In the next scene, we see Keshu in his office, happily reading the sweet comments on his videos. He's feeling really good. His channel has reached 1 lakh subscribers, which shocks him a lot. Then suddenly, he sees a comment that reminds him he had promised his subscribers that as soon as he hits 1 lakh, he would do. He immediately panics and thinks, how did I forget about this? While leaving, he suddenly gets a message from the Pink Cafe people. They're inviting him to an event. Keshu is thinking whether he should go or not. And the scene cuts here. The next scene shows Keshu reaching home. He receives a parcel and happily brings it inside. Maoning asks, "What are you doing?" Keshu says, "Nothing." Then he says, "I got a gift. Do you want to see it?" The Pink Cafe people sent some food items, probably as a gift. Do you want to see? Maoning thinks. Now, what gift have those people sent? As soon as he opens it, there's lingerie inside, meaning very small, revealing clothes. Keshu asks, "What food did they send?" Maoning immediately shows him an underwear and says, "This." Then Keshu remembers he had told a waiter to give him his clothes. And that waiter sent these because Keshu has to do cross-dressing for his fans. Keshu gets extremely shocked and scared, immediately snatches it and says, "What have I done? How did I forget about this? And why did it end up in Maoning's hands?" Maoning is looking at him surprised, but Keshu is very scared. Maoning immediately puts his hand on Keshu's shoulder and says, "My dear, I won't judge you at all for this. Everyone has their own preferences. This is your choice." Keshu shouts, "What nonsense are you talking? Are you making fun of me?" And he immediately tells his cat, "Go, tiger, attack him." Keshu's cat immediately attacks Maoning. After their cartoon fight, we see Maoning asking, "Why did you order this?" Keshu explains, "It's a trend. When any influencer reaches 1 lakh subscribers, they have to do." Then Keshu says, "I just wanted to see. I didn't know they'd send the clothes here," Maoning says. "Then go try it on." Keshu looks at him shocked and says, "What did you say?" Maoning looks very serious and says, "If you need help wearing it, I'll help you." And Maoning immediately pushes Keshu into the bathroom and says, "Wear it and come out right now." Keshu gets really shocked. Now Maoning is sitting waiting for Keshu, thinking, "You always troubled me. Now it's my turn." He's wondering why it's taking so long. Suddenly, Keshu comes out wearing that lingerie. The maid costume, Maoning's eyes stay wide open. The poor guy is in complete shock. Keshu is feeling very shy and blushing badly. He says, "Does it not look good on me?" His cat's heart melts, seeing Keshu, and immediately clings to him. We see Maoning remembering his dream where he saw Keshu as a female, and now he's looking exactly like that. Maoning starts blushing a lot and says, "Amazing. It looks really good on you," Keshu says. "Stop joking!" Then his foot hits something and he starts falling. Maoning immediately goes to him, catches him, and saves him from falling. Now both are very close. Maoning asks, "Are you okay?" But Keshu's heart is pounding hard, seeing Maoning. Maoning is feeling the same. Keshu says, "I got really scared. Now you can let me go." But Maoning isn't ready to let go and immediately hugs him. Both are shocked, just staring at each other. Keshu is blushing badly, then Maoning realizes he's probably excited. He looks down at his pants and immediately tells Keshu, "You should have been careful anyway." "You've become very careless." Keshu also understands that Maoning is excited again. Maoning immediately leaves Keshu there, runs away, and shouts, "You're absolutely not wearing these clothes for your fans." Then we see Maoning in the washroom questioning himself. "I didn't even eat anything from Keshu just now. Then why am I getting so excited suddenly?" But here Maoning is imagining Keshu and trying to relax himself, imagining Keshu's face while doing hand practice. The next scene directly shows the next day. Keshu is getting ready for office and tells Maoning, "Get up quickly and get ready." But Maoning isn't answering any of his questions. Keshu thinks maybe he's still sleeping and leaves. But we see poor Maoning. He didn't sleep all night. He was thinking about Keshu the whole night. He kept going to look at Keshu sleeping, finding him really cute. Maoning thinks, "Does this boy have no sense of danger at all? Doesn't he know he's living with such a dangerous person?" And Maoning says, "Keshu, you're playing with fire and you don't even know we see." Maoning couldn't sleep all night because he stayed excited the whole time. He couldn't forget Keshu's face in that maid costume. Guys, let's start today's chapter of Don't Eat My Cookies Manhwa. We see Keshu going to his office with lunch. Suddenly, the boy from yesterday calls him over. That boy's name is Wong, and he works in the same office as Keshu didn't want to go. But since Wong is his senior, he had to. As soon as Keshu reaches there, Wong immediately opens Keshu's tiffin and says, "You brought such good food. Looks like your girlfriend takes really good care of you." Keshu starts thinking, why does every boy assume boys can't cook? Then he tells Wong, I made this myself. After that, we see Wong talking non-stop about many things. But Keshu isn't paying attention to any of it. In the middle of talking, Wong casually asks, how do you even find time to make your videos after doing so much work? Keshu replies, I managed to make time, but suddenly it hits him. He gets shocked and asks, wait, how do you know about that? Wong shows him the food and says, because of your food, it looks exactly like what you make in your videos. Keshu immediately stuffs food in his mouth and says, stop talking about this here. Then Wong says, anyone who watches your videos can easily recognize your voice. It's clearly you. Keshu admits, yes, it's my channel. But he requests Wong, please don't tell anyone in the office about this. Wong says, but it would be better if everyone knew. Keshu replies, I don't want to tell everyone because I don't like explaining it again and again. Wong says, okay then. I'll keep it a secret, Keshu thanks him. Now Wong tries to give Keshu some food. Keshu refuses. Wong says, I'm your fan. That's why I'm giving it to you. You have to accept it. Then Wong leaves. Keshu thinks, was he always this nice? Then we see Wong going to meet the new manager. The manager tells him, call Keshu here. We're going to drink together. It's a client meeting and his presence is necessary. Hearing this, Wong gets really happy and immediately gets ready. In the next scene, we see Maoning saying, take me to Yang's house. Then his secretary says, I caught a traitor. Maoning replies, I didn't sleep well last night, so I don't remember anything about this. The secretary says, why don't you shift to a better house with your boyfriend? Maoning snaps, who are you calling my boyfriend? Mind your own business. Then at the secret base, we see a man tied up. Maoning and his secretary reach there. The secretary tells Maoning he was stealing from our casino. When I beat him, he spilled everything, but he's still stubborn and won't tell us who his boss is. Maoning says, I think he really wants to tell us something. As soon as they remove the tape from his mouth, the man starts shouting, Maoning, I've always been loyal to you. I have kids to raise. Please let me go. Don't kill me. If you let me go today, I promise I'll stay loyal forever, Maoning says. Leopard and I have always worked together. How dare you try to create fights between us? Don't you value your life? The man realizes Maoning already knows everything. He starts begging, Mr. Mao, I've always worked for you. Please forgive me. I really can't tell you who's behind this. Otherwise, my family and I will be killed. Hearing this, Maoning tells his secretary, let him go. As soon as he's freed, the man runs away. We see Maoning and the secretary chasing him, but suddenly the man crashes into a truck and his story ends there. Maoning says, why was he in such a hurry to die? We had one lead and it slipped away. Now how will we find out who's behind this? The secretary says, from my sources I found out this guy was meeting the Godfather recently. The Godfather is the boss of all gangsters. Maoning thinks that old man is still causing problems even after retiring. I think I should go meet him today, and the scene cuts. The next scene shows a company meeting. Keshu is there with his boss. Keshu's boss is praising him a lot in front of the CEO. Keshu gets really shocked and thinks, today the sun rose in the west. Even the CEO praises Keshu a lot. They keep making him drink one after another. Keshu starts feeling bad. Then Wong asks him, are you okay? In the next scene, the company dinner is over. Everyone is leaving. Keshu's boss is heavily drunk. Wong tells Keshu to drop him at a hotel. After that, we see Keshu dropping his boss at the hotel and then sitting in the train to go home. Suddenly, Wong appears from nowhere and sits next to him talking non-stop. Keshu isn't interested at all. Then Wong offers him a drink and says, this will increase your alcohol tolerance. Keshu refuses and says, no need. My previous manager always took me to company dinners and made me drink a lot. So now I'm used to it, Wong says. Then I'm really jealous. I can't drink at all. I have to take medicines. Wong keeps talking more, but Keshu completely ignores him, takes out his phone, and thinks, now I've taken out my phone too, hopefully. He'll understand I don't want to talk and stop. Then he messages Maoning, I drank a lot today. Order some food because I won't be able to cook, Keshu thinks. He's not replying. Then Wong clings to him and says, your girlfriend isn't replying. Keshu panics, moves away, and says, "It's nothing like that." Wong teases, "You two live together, spend dinners together, and you say it's nothing. Are you a cheater or what?" Keshu immediately runs away and says, "I'll see you tomorrow." After Keshu leaves, we see Wong staring at him in a very creepy way. Guys, I'm telling you right now, this guy is not okay at all. I'm getting creepy vibes from him outside. Keshu thinks, I can't handle him anymore. I should have taken a taxi earlier. Everything is so annoying. I had to go to that dinner. And today I won't even be able to upload a video. I have so much work. In the next scene, we see Keshu reaching his apartment. By now, he's very drunk. Maoning is standing outside smoking and thinking, today I had so much work. And going to that old man was useless too. Suddenly, he hears the sound of someone falling. Maoning thinks, who's making this nonsense? As soon as he turns, he sees Kesuk there. He asks, what are you doing here? We see Kesuk completely drunk. He immediately goes to Maoning, takes out a drink, and starts drinking to sober up. Maoning asks, why did you drink so much? Kesuk says, my mind is completely messed up. Today was a really bad day anyway. Then he sees Maoning smoking and asks, so, you always come here to smoke. Give me a cigarette too. Maoning gets surprised, but gives him one. Kesuk starts smoking too, and says, now I'm used to it at the company. It relieves my stress. Kesuk tells Maoning, you don't think I do all this, right? Maoning watches as Kesuk smokes heavily. Then Maoning stretches his hand forward and says, if you have so many problems, come hug me. Kesuk gets really surprised, but immediately runs and hugs Maoning because his hugs feel really good. In the next scene, we see both still hugging. After some time, Kesuk faints there. Maoning looks at him, then carries him in his arms, takes him inside and puts him on the bed. Then we see Maoning trying to wake him and saying, you're completely soaked in alcohol. Get up and take a proper bath. Kesuk, still drunk, says, leave me, or I'll call the police, pervert, from Kesuk's taste. We see Maoning getting very excited and thinking, he always excites me like this. I should call the police. Then we see Maoning suddenly removing Kesuk's glasses and kissing him on the forehead. And the scene cuts here. In the next scene, we see Maoning going to meet Leopard because someone is trying to create fights between them. And he wants to figure it out. Leopard shows Maoning a boy and says, this is our boss's illegitimate son. No one cares about him. If we use him, we can find out our boss's motives. Maoning asks, so what do you want from me? The boy says, I think you can trap him really well. Leopard says, I heard he likes boys, so Mr. Mao, who better than you? Maoning has no interest at all. He immediately takes out his phone, calls someone, and tells Leopard, don't worry, I'll get this done. Maoning sends the boy's photo to his friend Yang and says, trap him, come here quickly. We see Yang arriving there immediately and thinking, this Maoning kid always calls me for such work. He never remembers me without a reason. As soon as Yang reaches, his eyes fall on his target, and that target is already hitting on one of Yang's men. Yang gets very jealous and thinks, we promised each other we wouldn't do this, but now I know how trustworthy you are. He immediately goes to them, smiles, and says, can I join you too? Then Yang thinks, let's see how my man handles this. In the next scene, we see Keshu in his office going into the elevator. Suddenly, Wong appears and starts talking to him. But Keshu wants to leave at any cost. Keshu tries to run away, but Wong immediately grabs his hand and says, I know you're trying to ignore me. I feel like I upset you somehow. If I did, tell me. I'm ready to apologize right away. Then he asks, can we talk? Keshu thinks for a moment and says, okay, we can talk. Wong immediately pulls him along. Now we see both eating snacks together, but Keshu isn't happy at all. Wong says, I know you saw my message. You're upset because I peeked into your phone without permission, right? But when he looks at Keshu, he sees Keshu isn't paying attention. Wong says, Keshu, are you even listening? Then Wong says, I think you hate me. That's why you're not talking to me. He explains, what can I do? My personality is like this. When I like someone even a little and want to be friends, I start talking a lot, following them. I can't help it. I don't have many friends. That's why I want to make friends, Keshu says. I don't think so with your personality. You should have lots of friends, not like me, Wong says. Office people aren't my friends. They're just colleagues and work friends. I don't have anyone I can talk to on a personal level. Then Wong says, but for me, you're way more than a colleague. I want to be your friend. Kesuke gets really surprised. Then we see Wong immediately hitting his own head and saying, oh no, I said something wrong again, didn't I? I shouldn't have said that. Please forgive me. Just say hi to me. Don't avoid me. Keisuke comes down and understands that's just Wong's personality. After that, we see both sitting together in the train going home. A little later, when Kesuke gets off the train, Wong gets off with him too, Kesuke asks. Your house isn't here. Why are you getting off? Wong says, I want to drop you home. Keisuke thinks, I don't need this at all. I knew if I made him a friend this would happen, but why is he dropping me home? Still, he agrees and says, okay, fine. Then Wong starts his non-stop talking again. Keisuke reaches his building and finds Mei-young at the gate. Mei-young sees both of them together and gets really surprised. We see Keisuke looking at Mei-young and Wong staring at Mei-young in a very strange way. Today's chapter of Don't Eat My Cookies Manhwa starts with us seeing Mei-young staring intensely at Kesu and Wong. Wong is thinking, Kesu's neighbor looks really dangerous. Suddenly, Mei-young pulls Kesu close to him and says, you're late coming home again today. Dong Wong gets very confused seeing both of them together. Then both look towards him. Kesu immediately introduces them. This is my colleague from the office. Wong talks to Mei-young and says, we were late coming back, so I thought I'd drop Kesu home. Now that we're here, I should leave. Saying this, Wong starts to go. Mei-young immediately thanks Wong for dropping Kesu home. Then both go inside. We see Wong looking very sad, he thinks. So Kesu doesn't have a girlfriend. And in a very creepy way, he says, so Kesu has a boyfriend, and the scene cuts there. The next scene shows Mei-young having dinner with his friend. Yang Mei-young is only thinking about Kesu. Then Yang gives him some evidence that Mei-young had asked for. While giving it, Yang says, this is the last time I'm working for you. Don't call me for this kind of work again. Mei-young immediately takes it and keeps it close. Yang gets confused and says, aren't you going to ask why I'm quitting this work? Mei-young replies, I have no right over you. It's completely your choice, whether you want to work with me or not. Anyway, every time you help me, you get hurt. Hearing this, Yang also gets surprised. Then Mei-young tells him, my illness is completely cured now. I can get excited again like before. Hearing this, Yang gets extremely shocked and shouts, really? Show me quickly, Mei-young says. We're in public. Stop the nonsense and keep your voice down. But Yang says, Kesu really did a miracle when you first told me his presence cures your illness. I thought you had some real problem. I even filled out a form for the mental asylum for you, but this is truly amazing. I think I should go meet Kesu, Mei-young immediately says. That's fine, but stop shouting. Then we see Yang telling him, now that everything is fixed, you can go back home. No need to stay with Kesu anymore, Maoning says, but I don't want that. I want to stay with him. Yang gets very confused. He immediately starts pulling Maoning along and says, what's happening with you? Tell me properly, Maoning says. I'm not going with you. I have a lot of important work. More important than going with you, Yang asks. What do you have to do? Maoning says, I have to go bring Kesu home. Yang feels super cringy and thinks, my friend has gone completely crazy in love. Then he starts taking Maoning along and says, okay, fine. Now tell me calmly what's going on between you two. From behind, we see Aang's man watching both of them leave together and thinking, so Yang's type is a tall, broad guy, and the scene cuts there. The next scene shows nighttime. Kesu is working. Maoning comes and says, are you still editing videos so late? You should go sleep now, Kesu says. Just a little work left, I'll finish it. If I don't upload every day, all my fans will leave. Maoning gives up and immediately gets on top of Kesu, sweetly saying, come on, let's go sleep, Kesu says. With you doing this, I can't concentrate, but both look super cute together and Kesu likes Maoning doing this. Suddenly, Kesu's new laptop breaks. Kesu thinks, it was brand new, how did it break? Maoning takes advantage, picks Kesu up, carries him, and says, do all this work tomorrow, come sleep with me. He throws Kesu on the bed, covers him with the sheet, and says, now sleep quietly without making noise. Kesu says, but I had a little work left. Maoning shushes him and tells him to sleep. Then he goes to his own bed to sleep. A little later, we see Keshu still awake. He asks, "Are you still awake?" Maoning doesn't reply. Keshu is looking at Maoning and thinking, "Why do you treat me so well? You're my manager. You should disturb my sleep and force me to make videos all the time, but you stopped me from making them yourself. What kind of manager are you?" Keshu says, "Since you came into my life, everything has completely changed. But if you keep doing this, I'll misunderstand. I'll start thinking something I shouldn't." Suddenly, Maoning asks, "What will you start thinking?" This reveals Maoning wasn't sleeping either. Hearing this, Keshu immediately pretends to sleep. Maoning gets up, goes to Keshu, puts his hand on his face, and says, "Silly, what other reason could there be for me taking such good care of you?" Then he pulls Keshu's cheeks, gets very close, and says, "Until we have a proper relationship, forgive me. But I need this in advance," and he immediately kisses Kes. The scene cuts here. The next scene starts with Yang's man. The one who saw Maoning and Yang together, he's burning with jealousy. So he hacks Maoning's phone, but as soon as he checks it, he gets shocked. Only 2 numbers, Yang's and Keshu's, he thinks. Why are there only 2 numbers in his phone? And who is this Keshu? He does a little research and finds Keshu's photo. He realizes he had researched Keshu before on Yang's orders. In the next scene, we see Maoning meeting his boss, the main mafia leader. The leader is sitting with his illegitimate son. He welcomes May. The boy is staring at Maoning strangely. Maoning immediately recognizes him. He's the same one Yang was supposed to get evidence on. Maoning places a gift for his boss on the table. The boss invites him for tea. Then the boss says, "I called you without any reason. You won't mind, right?" Maoning says, "Why would I?" The boss introduces his illegitimate son. "This is my son, Yunnan. I wanted to introduce him to you." Then he starts telling Yunnan's story. "I met his mom long ago when I left her. I didn't know she was pregnant. My marriage was already done. But later I had to accept him after all. He's my blood," Maoning thinks. "Old man, who are you fooling? I know you don't have your own son. That's why you had to raise him." Suddenly, Yunnan starts touching Maoning under the table. Maoning gets extremely shocked and immediately stands up. The boss asks, "What happened?" Maoning says, "I have an urgent matter. I'll come meet you next time." The mafia boss tells his son to see Maoning off at the door. On the way, Yunnan says, "Gaga, no need to leave so quickly." Then he whispers in Maoning's ear, "That night in the bar, you were staring at me a lot. But why didn't you come to me?" Maoning panics badly and thinks, how does he know I was in that bar that night? Yunnan says, "Gaga, I waited for you a long time. But when you didn't come, I found another cutie and left." Then Yunnan tries to get close to Mai, but Maoning pushes him away firmly and leaves. Yunnan just smiles, staring at Maoning Da. We see Maoning in his car, irritated by Yunnan's touch, thinking, I should stay away from him. He makes me so angry. Then angrily he says, "That gay kid, who does he think he is? How dare he touch me?" His secretary thinks, "Boss, you're gay too. Don't you think you're in a big misunderstanding?" Maoning thinks, "That old man definitely called me today to ask for money. Good thing I left on time." Then he tells his assistant, "Drop me at Keshu's house. It's raining heavily." As Maoning is going to Keshu's house, he suddenly realizes someone is following him. We see it's Yang's man tailing him. Maoning shows his skills and disappears in a flash. The boy gets very confused and thinks, that guy just vanished into thin air. I need to find out his background so I can gather some evidence. He takes some photos with his camera and starts planning something. Then he tells his assistant, "Drop me at Keshu's house. It's raining heavily." As Maoning is going to Keshu's house, he suddenly realizes someone is following him. We see it's Yang's man tailing him. Maoning shows his skills and disappears in a flash. The boy gets very confused and thinks, that guy just vanished into thin air. I need to find out his background so I can gather some evidence. He takes some photos with his camera and starts planning something. In the next scene, we see Keshu having lunch in his office. He thinks, Secretary Wong isn't here today. It feels so good. Suddenly, Yang's man sits in front of him. Keshu thinks, who is this? Why doesn't he sit somewhere else? Then Yang's man says, I know you. Keshu looks at him very confused. And the scene cuts here. The next scene shows maoning going somewhere with his secretary. He's discussing some plans with his assistant. Then he says, "Today I'll go home myself." His assistant gives him the car keys and says, "Take care." We see Maoning driving himself to Keshu's house. Meanwhile, we see Keshu Yang's man has placed photos of Keshu in front of him. Keshu looks very confused. Yang's man tells him maoning is a big cheater. He traps innocent boys and makes them do adult movies. Hearing this, Keshu gets extremely shocked. The man says, "Everything I'm saying is true. If I was lying, how would I have your pictures?" Then he adds, "Maoning is more dangerous than he looks. It's not necessary he'll only make adult movies with you. He could even sell you organs," Keshu angrily says. "Stop your nonsense, I know maoning very well." He's not that kind of person at all. "I can't believe you're sitting here trying to provoke me against maoning. I think you're the more dangerous one. You know my name, you have my pictures. I think you're the stalker." Yang's man provokes him more. "Haven't you ever wondered why a company like that signed you? You're not even a popular blogger, still they gave you 50,000. Haven't you realized yet that the company was just a scam?" Keshu says only one thing. "Whatever you're saying, I don't understand anything. I don't know anything about him. But why would maoning lie to me?" "Maoning can never lie to me," Yang's man says. "I wasn't going to tell you, but now I will. Maoning is troubling someone else to someone I know." Then he says, "Don't fall into maoning's trap in Keshu's mind." Doubt starts rising. When I first met maoning, he gave me gangster vibes. I also thought he was a gangster. After planting doubt in Keshu's mind, the man leaves staring at him. After that, we see Keshu with doubt completely settled in his mind. He thinks, whatever that boy said feels very right. A company suddenly approaching me, signing me, giving me 50,000, and then meeting the same guy again who kissed me in the first meeting. Why didn't I ever think about this properly? But then he thinks maoning treats me so well. He answers all my questions, takes care of me. The whole day, Keshu keeps thinking only about maoning. How maoning always helps him, always stands by him. Maoning can never lie to him, and he can't be a scammer because no scammer helps someone this much just to scam them. Keshu comes home, feeds his cat, and keeps thinking, what if I find out maoning is just deceiving me? I'll completely break when maoning comes. Should I question him? Then Keshu thinks, I can ask manager Yang too. He's about to call when suddenly he hears maoning arriving. As soon as Keshu opens the door, he sees maoning badly injured. Keshu immediately catches him and asks, what happened to you? How did you get hurt so badly? And here this chapter ends. So guys, today's chapter of Don't Eat My Cookies Manhwa starts with us seeing Kesuk panicking badly when he sees Mayong in that condition. But Mayong only manages to say one thing. No matter what happens, don't take me to the hospital. And because of his severe injuries, he immediately faints. Poor Kesuk is completely freaked out seeing Mayong like this. And the scene cuts here. Now the story goes a few minutes back. We see Mayong at his house searching for something. Suddenly he feels like someone is in his house. Then out of nowhere, a man appears and attacks Mayong directly. Mayong barely manages to save himself. The man attacks again and starts choking Mayong badly. Clearly, he came to kill him. Mayong struggles to save himself. In the fight, a piece of glass gets into his hand. He attacks the man with it. Then Mayong immediately calls his assistant and tells him, don't follow me, otherwise they'll find out about my place. Handle the situation here, I'll come meet you tomorrow myself. After that, Mayong tries to escape in his car. He realizes someone is still tailing him. Mayong speeds up and manages to lose them. He's badly injured, but Kesuk's house comes into view. He wants to go to Kesuk at any cost. Now, the story comes back to the present. We see Kesuk and Mayong together. Mayong is still unconscious, and Kesuk is taking care of him. Kesuk looks at Mayong and thinks, good thing he's safe now. But how did he get hurt so badly? Is he really part of some mafia? Kesuk starts talking to the unconscious Mayong. Today, some weird guy came to talk to me. He was trying to provoke me against you. But I'm sure whatever he said isn't true because I remember how well you always treat me. No matter who you are, it doesn't matter to me as long as you're safe. So please, wake up soon. I want to talk to you. Tears come to Kesuk's eyes as he says, I'm scared, Mayong. Please come back. Meanwhile, we see Mayong. He wasn't unconscious. He suddenly asks, do you like me? In the heat of emotions, Kesuk says, Yes, I like you. As soon as he realizes what he said, Kesuk looks at Ma-young in shock. Ma-young asks, "Since when do you like me?" Kesuk has no idea how to react. He asks, "When did you wake up?" Then Kesuk starts hitting Ma-young more playfully, saying, "You cheater. You were awake all along and still made a fool of me." Poor injured Ma-young gets even more injured and starts coughing up blood dramatically. He coughs badly. Seeing this, Kesuk gets super worried and says, "Forgive me. I shouldn't have done that." Then we see Ma-young pulling Kesuk on top of him. Kesuk panics and says, "What are you doing? You're so thin outside you'll turn into a pup." "Let me go." Ma-young doesn't listen and confesses his feelings. "Kesuk, I like you a lot too." Kesuk turns into a red tomato, blushing badly, not knowing what to say. Then Ma-young removes Kesuk's glasses and pulls him closer. But Kesuk immediately stops him and says, "Before all this, tell me what's really going on." Ma-young doesn't listen and immediately kisses him. Kesuk is completely shocked. He says, "We can't do this. You're injured," but Ma-young is getting very excited. Which worries Kesuk. Ma-young says, "Today I'm injured, so I'm letting you go like this. But we'll sleep hugging each other." Then both hug lovingly and fall asleep. At the end, Ma-young tells Kesuk, "I know you have a lot of questions. You want to ask me many things, but trust me, I'll answer all your questions very soon. Just wait for me." Kesuk has complete trust in Ma-young, so both fall asleep like this. Now the next scene shows nighttime. Kesuk suddenly wakes up and finds himself alone at home. He gets very sad and says, "Ma-young, you liar, you left me. You're so selfish." The next scene shows Yang trying to contact his man, but his man has blocked him from everywhere and isn't ready to listen. Yang thinks, "I have very important work with him, but this time I won't trouble him," and the scene cuts. The story goes back several years. Now we learn about Yang's past. Yang is the heir of a very big company. His dad is extremely rich, but Yang is gay. So his father abandons him, he beats him a lot and says, "I don't have a son like you," Yang's dad tells him. "I sent you abroad to study. Not to have fun with men. I always treated you well. Never let you lack anything, and you give me this advice." Then we see Yang's brother glaring at him from the side. The dad says, "If you can't be useful to us, at least stop embarrassing us." Yang wants to explain to his father. Talk to him, but his brother stops him and doesn't let him. He keeps glaring. Yang immediately picks up his things and leaves. That's when he cut ties with his family. That soon as Yang comes out of the house and starts going somewhere, suddenly some people come, kidnap him, and take him away. Yang tries hard to save himself, shouts a lot, but no one comes to help. They knock him unconscious and take him. The next scene shows a go-down. Yang wakes up and thinks, "I've been kidnapped. A rich family's son kidnapped? I know what comes next. They'll call my dad for ransom." Then he thinks, "But I know my father well. He won't spend a single penny on me." He gets very sad. Suddenly, Ma-young and another man, the ones who kidnapped him, arrive. They say, "We're connecting you to your father. Don't talk nonsense." Yang talks to his father and is about to tell him he's been kidnapped. But his father says, "How many times have I told you people I don't have a son like him? I won't give you even a broken coin for him, but thank you, you clean my trash. I don't need a useless son like him." Hearing his dad's words, Yang gets a huge shock. He realizes he has no one in this world. The gangsters can't believe it. How can a father say this about his own son? Ma-young's partner leaves Ma-young and says, "Ning, finish him in my place. I'm too angry this time. We won't even get money." Ma-young does as told. In the next scene, we see Ma-young pointing a gun at Yang's head, but Yang isn't scared at all. He's smiling. Ma-young gets surprised and asks, "Why are you smiling?" Yang looks at him very depressed and says, "If I spend one night with you, will you let me live?" Then we see Ma-young's angry face, a loud sound, and the scene cuts here. The next scene shows Yang waking up. It was a dream, he thinks. Why are those things coming back to me again? Then he gets an important call and the scene cuts now. The next scene shows Kesuk in his office. He forgot to bring lunch today. But Ma-young had parceled a tiffin for him. Kesuk gets really surprised and thinks, "These are all the things I like a lot. Did Ma-young buy them for me?" Then blushing, he thinks, "If you have so much courage inside, Ma-young, why didn't you come deliver it to me yourself?" His colleagues start teasing him badly. Nowadays, our Kesuk is completely crazy in love. Look, he didn't even wear his tie today. Kesuk panics and says, "It's nothing like that. I'll wear it next time." Then all his colleagues tease him together. We met him too. One by one, they tell how Kesuk has completely changed lately. Then they all say together, "We know Kesuk is in a relationship now. Our little Kesuk is no longer single." Kesuk just blushes and listens, remembering Ma Yong and thinking, "Why don't you come deliver it yourself?" Then he says, "Friends, thank you so much for caring about me like this." Suddenly, he gets called to the manager's room, Kesuk thinks. Again, that guy is calling me to give me a lot of work. His friends encourage him. In the next scene, we see Mayong's base. His men are beating someone. Mayong comes and says, "Tell me who sent you." He tells his men to leave. We see the boy. It's Yang's man who was keeping an eye on Mayong. But Mayong reached him first and captured him. Mayong goes straight to him and says, "Tell me clearly, who told you to keep an eye on me?" The boy bravely says, "Do whatever you want, I won't tell you. And if you do anything to me, I have evidence that will go straight to the police." Mayong notices the boy's legs shaking badly. He thinks, either this guy is really brave or he's watched too many movies. Who talks such filmy dialogues? Then Mayong asks straight, "If you were watching me, tell me, what do you want from me? Why are you doing this?" "We can settle this," the boy says. "How can I trust you?" Mayong says, "You don't have any other option." The boy gets a little scared and says, "I know everything about you. You trap innocent boys and use them." Then angrily, he shouts, "You disgusting person! You put your dirty eyes on my dear innocent cute person. And you also put your eyes on innocent Kesuk. But I've warned Kesuk now. You can't do anything to him." Then he says angrily, "Besides, leave my dear Dong Yang alone. I'm here to save him." Mayong angrily grabs his collar and thinks, so that's why Yang is quitting work. This guy is a complete idiot. Then he realizes the boy mentioned Kesuk. Too, he thinks, what did this guy tell Kesuk? The boy immediately closes his eyes, thinking Mayong is going to beat him badly. But nothing happens. When the boy opens his eyes, Mayong has vanished from his sight. The boy thinks, did he leave me here to starve? Then the next scene shows Yang coming there crying, "My dear Min, what are you doing here?" Yang gets very worried for Min. Min says, "I'm not hurt much." Then we see both acting very lovey-dovey, which completely ruins Mayong's mood. He says, "You guys are so cringy." I'm getting full creepy vibes. Then Mayong says, "Show this love at home." Both look at Mayong cutely. Mayong says, "Today I did you both a huge favor now. You have to repay it." And here this chapter ends. So guys, today's chapter of Don't Eat My Cookies Manhwa starts right where we left off. We've seen so far that Maoning comes to Keshu in a badly injured state. Keshu takes great care of him. Both confess their feelings to each other. And Maoning promises that when he returns, he'll tell Keshu everything about himself. Meanwhile, the misunderstanding between Yang's man Min and Maoning has also been cleared up. With that, today's chapter begins. Maoning tells them, "You two can do your Romeo-Juliet drama at home right now. It's time to repay the favor I did for you." Yang immediately agrees to help me. At the same time, Maoning also finds out who was keeping an eye on him. That person is now in Maoning's secretary's custody. We see Min asking Yang, "Why do you always listen to Maoning?" Yang explains to Min, "Maoning may look dangerous on the outside, but he's actually a very good person inside. If he wanted to harm you, he could have beaten you badly long ago, but he didn't. So you should be grateful to him." Hearing this, Min immediately tells Maoning, "Mr. Mai, I'm ready to help you with everything." Yang quickly pulls Min along and says, "You idiot, come with me," and the scene cuts here. The next scene shows Keshu. His boss has once again brought him to a company dinner. After drinking way too much, Keshu is throwing up, he thinks. Every time these people bring me here and force me to drink so much, poor Keshu is completely fed up with his boss and thinks, I can't do this anymore. Suddenly, he feels someone behind. We see Secretary Wong has arrived. Wong says, "Do you need to wash your hands? Come, you can wash here." Keshu immediately tries to leave, but Wong quickly corners him. He asks, "Are you okay? You look really drunk." Then Wong suddenly grabs Keshu's hand very tightly and starts pressing it hard. Keshu says, "Secretary Wong, let me go, it hurts a lot." He frees himself and steps back. Wong touches him. "Why are you still calling me Secretary Wong?" Now Kesuke gets angry too. He pushes Wang's hand away and says, "Secretary Wong, I think you've had too much to drink. You should go home now." Wong says, "You're absolutely right, so come on, let's go to your house." Then Wong looks at him creepily and says, "What happened? Your boyfriend didn't come to pick you up today. Usually he waits for you at the station every day." Hearing this, Keisuke gets really shocked and says, "Are you stalking me?" Wong replies, "Did you and him fight? Did you break up?" Then Wong says, "Why are you scared?" "No need to be afraid. Everything will be fine. I know all your likes and dislikes very well, so I won't do anything you don't like." But Keisuke moves away and says, "Wong, whatever you're saying, I don't understand any of it. It's better if you leave now." Keisuke tries to leave immediately, but Wong corners him again, pulls him close and says, "I like you, so why can't I come to you? I deserve a chance too, right? What's wrong with that? I don't want to stay just as your friend." Wong starts getting even closer. Keisuke shouts loudly, pushes Wong away hard, and runs straight out of there. He thinks, "Why is all this happening? I never thought Wong would do something like this. How did things between us get so bad?" After that, Keisuke immediately books a cab to go home. Then he realizes Wong knows his home address. If he goes home, Wong might come there. But Keisuke has no other place to go. He gets very confused. The cab driver asks, "Where do you want to go?" Keisuke can't answer. Then the driver says, "I understand." And we see it's none other than Min driving the cab. He starts driving immediately. Keisuke thinks, "I didn't even tell him where to go," and shouts, "Where are you taking me?" Then we see Min has brought Keisuke to Mayoung's base. Min tells Mayoung, "I brought him." Mayoung panics seeing Keisuke in this state and asks, "What happened to him? Why is he like this?" He immediately hugs Keisuke. Min says, "This was my first time driving a car. I had no idea." In the next scene, Keshu suddenly wakes up. He feels strange. He immediately pushes Mayoung away and says, "Stay away from me. Don't even try to touch me." Mayoung calmly tells him, "Open your eyes and see you're safe now." "I'm here." As soon as Keshu sees Mayoung, tears fill his eyes. He immediately hugs Mayoung tightly. Mayoung says, "You're okay now. You're safe." Keshu starts crying and says, "It wasn't my fault. I didn't do anything." Mayoung understands everything and asks, "Did he try to force himself on you?" Keshu nods yes. Mayoung hugs him even tighter and says, "You're completely safe. You're with me now." Then Mayoung asks, "Did he try to kiss you?" Keshu says, "Yes." Mayoung kisses him right there and says, "Now you'll forget about him." Then both spend a lot of quality time together. Keshu's fear slowly starts going away. Mayoung asks, "Are you feeling better now?" Keshu says, "Yes." Then Keshu asks Mayoung, "How did you know I was in trouble? And how did you send that guy to help me right away?" Mayoung kisses his hands, looks at him, and says, "If I tell you I'm part of the mafia, will you still love me?" Hearing this question, Keshu gets extremely shocked, and the scene cuts here. The next scene starts with Yang wandering around. Min arrives and gets very jealous seeing it. He immediately comes forward and says, "Do you want to die?" Yang quickly gets into the car. Then Yang kisses Min and says, "Baby, you look even hotter when you're jealous." Min tells him, "Your old tricks won't work anymore. If you want to stay with me, you have to change yourself." Yang says, "I understand." The next scene starts again with Yang lost in old memories. He goes back to the time when Mayoung had pointed a gun at his head and Yang had said, "If I spend one night with you, will you let me live?" Now we finally see what happened after that. Hearing this, Mayoung got very angry and immediately fired the gun. In the next scene, we see Yang drowning in water after some time. He comes out and is shocked to find himself alive. He thinks, even till today, "I don't understand why Mayoung let me live that day." Then Yang tells us, "After that day, I became an orphan because my father had already cut ties with me. I had nothing left. I was from a rich family. I didn't know how to work. Life became very hard. I had to spend all my time on the streets. I had nothing to eat. For a moment, I thought of going to the police for help, but I couldn't, otherwise they would find out about me. I didn't want to put Maon in trouble. Then one day he met a guy. We see a boy coming to Yang and saying, "If you don't want to die of hunger, come with me." Yang, in deep trouble, follows him. After that, the boy takes Yang and turns him into a prostitute. That becomes Yang's life. He had to please others just to eat. After 2 years pass like this, suddenly one day there's chaos in the shop where he worked. Gunshots are heard. Yang is surprised, he thinks. I've been here for 2 years. Mafia come and go. The man who kept me here was Mafia. 2. No matter how hard I try, I can't escape alive. I'll have to rot here forever. So Yang had stopped caring about anything. But suddenly Maon appears in front of him. After 2 years, Yang sees Maon again. Yang tells us, "This was the second time Maon saved me." We see Maon coming to Yang and saying, "The man who did this to you, I ended his story. Now you're the owner of this shop." Yang was extremely shocked. This was the second time in his life Maon saved him. Now we see Yang telling this whole story to his man, Min. Suddenly Yang realizes Min isn't saying anything. He immediately goes to him. We see Min. After hearing Yang's story, tears have filled his eyes. Yang immediately hugs him and says, "I didn't know you were so emotional." Min immediately pushes him away and says, "Who's crying?" "I'm not crying at all. It's just the smell of onions." Then Yang tries to lift his mood and says, "We haven't done romance in the car even once. Do you want to try that?" We see Min turning into a red tomato. Now the next scene starts again with May. He's asking Keshu, "If I tell you I'm part of the Mafia, will you still love me?" Keshu gets very shocked and starts getting up. Maoning says, "I promised I'd tell you everything about myself." That time has come now. We see Maoning starting to tell Keshu everything about himself. He says, "Do you remember when we first met? That day I went there for some work. I was supposed to meet someone else. But I met you by mistake and troubled you. After that, you taught me a good lesson. But after you left that day, I found the cookies you made after eating them. My problem magically got fixed from that day. I started searching for you everywhere. Then I made this plan and became your manager to come to your house." Keshu asks Maoning, "So what was your problem that got fixed because of my cookies?" Maoning hesitates a lot at first. Then he tells Keshu, "I had a medical issue. I could never get excited. That means no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't romance anyone. I tried a lot, took many medicines, but nothing helped. But one day I met you and found your cookies and I completely got cured." We see Keshu listening in shock. Then he suddenly starts laughing very loudly. While laughing, Keshu pushes Maoning away and says, "Are you joking? For one moment I might believe you're part of the Mafia. But I can't believe you had erectile dysfunction. That can't be possible, because every time you see me, you get so excited." Poor Maoning starts feeling extremely embarrassed. Now, Keshu calms down and tells Maoning, "If you're really part of the Mafia, then why did you need to become my manager and do all this drama? You could have easily kidnapped me and forced me to do whatever." Suddenly, we see Maoning switching to his full Mafia mode. He says, "Yes, you reminded me I'm Mafia." He immediately removes Keshu's hands and gets on top of him. Keshu gets very shocked. Then we see both spending very romantic time together. Maoning tells Keshu, "Go ahead and scream as much as you want. No one will help you now." But suddenly Keshu becomes sad and looks the other way. Maoning hugs him from behind and says, "Look at me and tell me what happened. Why did you stop here? Tell me." Maoning is so excited that he can't stop. He immediately says, "Even now, if you don't trust me, I can do a lot more." Keshu panics and says, No, that's enough for today. I accept your Mafia, a very hot Mafia." Hearing this, Maoning gets shocked for the first time. We see Maoning blushing badly. Then he hugs Keshu and says, "If you say it like this, I'll feel like locking you up and hiding you somewhere so no one can find you." And here today's chapter ends. So guys, today's chapter of Don't Eat My Cookies Manhwa starts with us seeing Maoning and Keshu in his car. Maoning is waking Keshu up because they've reached home. As soon as Keshu wakes up, his first question is, "How did clothes get on me?" Maoning teases, "Why didn't you like them? Should I take them off?" Then Maoning says, "If you're regretting last night, we can still go to a hotel right now. Or if you want, we can do it in the car." 2, Keshu immediately says, "No way in the car. I don't like doing it in the car at all." Meanwhile, We see Maoning's assistant thinking, these shameless people have no shame at all. I'm sitting right here in front of them, Maoning tells Keshu. I was just joking. Look at what's running through your mind. Keshu gets annoyed and says, how dare you joke with me like that? He immediately starts punching Maoning playfully and says, you're laughing at me. Poor Keshu gets super embarrassed. And the scene between them turns into a very cute moment. Then Maoning stops him, places a phone in his hands and says, now I've told you everything about myself and my feelings. I just need your answer. Until then, keep this phone with you. Whenever you feel scared or miss me, you can call me comfortably on this. Keshu is left really surprised. Maoning gets close and says, if after knowing my truth you don't like me, you can tell me. I'm giving you a chance right now. You can leave from here, but once all our problems are solved, no matter what happens, I won't let you go. I'll lock you up and hide you from the world. Then he lovingly kisses Keshu on the forehead. We see Keshu staring at the phone. Suddenly, Maoning takes advantage of the moment and directly kisses him. Then he says, I'm giving you a mark, go. Show this mark to everyone and tell them you belong to someone now. In the next scene, we see Keshu arriving at his office. Everyone notices the love bite and starts talking about it. Your girlfriend is really something, poor Keshu thinks. How do I tell them I ended up with a mafia guy? Then a colleague says, congratulations. You're succeeding in your career and you've got a girlfriend, too. Another says, go to the manager. He's calling you. Keshu goes to the manager's room. The manager tells him Wong suddenly quit, so his job is now yours. Meaning we're giving you a promotion. Keshu is shocked. Then the manager dumps even more work on him and sends him away. In the next scene, we see Keshu buried in work thinking, they gave me a promotion just to make me do donkey labor. He's only thinking about finishing the work quickly so he can go to May. Just thinking about Maoning makes him blush a lot. He thinks, what must Maoning be doing right now? And the scene cuts here. The next scene shows Maoning meeting his boss again. The boss and Yunnan are sitting together. The boss is talking to Maoning very nicely, and Maoning is listening carefully. Meanwhile, we see Yunnan looking very angry. The boss tells Yunnan, you should serve Maoning a drink. Yunnan gets furious and says, he just does a little work for us. Why should I do all this for him? His dad, Maoning's boss, gets angry and says, watch your tongue, Maoning says. I didn't mind his words at all, after all. He's your son. Seeing Maoning and his dad so close makes Yunnan even more upset. He looks really angry, and here the competition between Maoning and Yunnan officially starts. In the end, Yunnan loses. The boss finds it all very entertaining and laughs hard. Suddenly, Maoning gets a call from his assistant. He tells his boss, something urgent came up. I have to leave, the boss says. You're at the age for marriage now. Pay attention to that, too. Is there a girl in your life? If there is, you must introduce her to me. Maoning gets shocked and says, no, nothing like that, and leaves immediately. But Yunnan notices Maoning is hiding something. An evil smile appears on his face as he thinks, Maoning Gaga, I found your weakness. In the next scene, we see Maoning with his assistant. The assistant tells him, some of our secret information has been leaked. Maoning asks him to find out more about it. Then we see Maoning sitting calmly, taking out an envelope. And looking at Keshu's photos in the next scene, Maoning can't resist looking at Keshu's photos and starts using them to relax himself and practice. Suddenly his phone rings. It's Keshu calling. Poor Maoning panics and quickly picks up. We hear Keshu on the call. But Maoning is breathing heavily from what he was doing. Keshu asks, why aren't you saying anything? Maoning, still continuing, asks, why did you call? Keshu says, you told me to call whenever I miss you. Then Keshu suddenly realizes what Maoning is doing and gets shocked. Maoning asks, do you remember what we did? Keshu's heart starts pounding hard. Maoning keeps going and says, you're perfect now. Quickly take off your clothes, even though they're on a call. The scene is shown as if Maoning is with Keshu. Maoning asks, should I teach you something? Keshu gets angry and says, I'm a man too. I can do this. After he finishes, we see Keshu immediately hiding under the sheet. Maoning cleans his hand. Keshu is blushing badly. Maoning asks, are you still listening? Keshu says, yes, but I'm feeling really shy. Maoning says, I know you well. You must have covered yourself with the sheet. Then Maoning asks, Did you come home late from work again today? Keshu says, Yes, Secretary Wong, who was troubling me a lot, suddenly quit. Now I got his job instead, but under the name of promotion, they're making me do even more labor. That jerk left and dumped all his work on me. I haven't uploaded a video in 2 weeks. I feel like all my subscribers will leave me. Then Keshu realizes he's been talking nonstop. He asks Maoning, I talk so much nonsense. Don't you get bored? Maoning says, Talk as much as you want. I never feel bored when you're around. Keshu says, You're really good at sweet talking. Then he gets serious and says, Lately I only think about you. I want to know what you do every day, every moment. Do you fight with other mafia people like in the movies? No matter how hard I try, I can't understand, Maoning. When will your work end, and when will you come back to me? Maoning says, Do you really miss me that much? Keshu says, Yes, a lot, Maoning says. Then okay, don't hang up. Just fall asleep like this. After some time, we see Keshu has fallen asleep. Suddenly, he hears Maoning's voice on the phone. Come down quickly. Keshu gets shocked, runs downstairs, and sees May. He gets super surprised and immediately hugs him. Maoning asks, Today you're hugging me from the front, Keshu says. I wanted to show courage at least once in my life. Then Keshu kisses him from the front. Meanwhile, hidden somewhere, Yunnan is watching them and says, What fools? And the scene cuts here. The next scene shows Keshu going to his office. This time, Yunnan is following him. Yunnan thinks, Is this boy really Maoning's lover? I don't understand Maoning's type at all. How can someone so simple be Maoning's lover? Suddenly, Yunnan's eyes fall on a boy secretly taking Keshu's photos. An evil smile appears on his face as he says, Oh, so that's the case. Yunnan immediately catches the boy and says, You creepy guy, why are you taking his pictures? We see it's none other than Min, who is taking photos of Keshu for Maoning. Yunnan and Min already know each other because they've spent nights together before, while Yunnan pulls Min along and says, Now I'm taking you to the police. He immediately covers Min's mouth so he can't explain. In the next scene, we see both in the car. This time, Yunnan properly introduces himself and asks about Min. Min angrily says, I don't want to hear your nonsense. Tell me quickly why you brought me here. Yunnan says, That night when we met at the bar, was all that done by Min? Min angrily says, No, not at all. Then Yunnan says, So you know May, did he ask you to keep an eye on his lover? Min doesn't want to hear more nonsense, so he starts leaving and says, If you want to report me to the police, go ahead. I'm leaving. But Yunnan clings to him and says, After we separated that night, every time I met Dong Yang, I only missed you. I told Yang so many times to call you again. But whenever we were together, he never called you. He wanted to enjoy me alone. Then he whispers in Min's ear, Didn't Yang tell you how many times we met? Min gets extremely shocked and thinks Yang promised he wouldn't meet anyone except me. Did Yang break his promise? Min angrily leaves. Yunnan thinks, I just started talking. Why did he get so angry and leave? And the scene cuts here. The next scene shows Maoning and Yang together. Yang says, I'm so busy and you just show up. What did you come here for? Maoning says, Nothing special today. I thought I'd chat with my friend. Anyway, I wanted to tell you something. Blushing, Maoning says, I think I'm completely cured now because of Keshu. Even that day on the call, we did all that. Now I don't need his food or his touch, just thinking about him is enough. Yang immediately grabs his throat and says, So you shameless Maoning came here to show off your relationship, to tell me how happy you are with him. But then Min, Who's there, tells Yang, What are you doing here? Weren't you supposed to keep an eye on Keshu? Min says, I'm not your lapdog like Maoning. I won't follow all his orders. Maoning gets angry and immediately gets up to leave. While going, he tells Yang, Yang, we'll talk later. I don't think this is the right time, Yang asks Min. What happened? Min says, You really don't know what happened. Today I met Yunnan, and guess what he told me? And here this chapter ends. Let's start today's video. The chapter begins with us seeing Min and Yang together. Min tells Yang, I met Yunnan. He told me everything about you. Yang gets extremely panicked and says, "Whatever he told you is not true at all. Don't listen to him." But Min doesn't listen to a single word. He says, "There are so many people in this world who, like you and I, know that in this world, you'll never choose anyone over my maoning." "Not even me." Yang goes completely silent and can't give any answer. We see Min immediately leaving from there. He doesn't even give Yang a chance to explain his side. The scene cuts. The next scene starts at Keshu's office. One of his colleagues tells him, "Someone came looking for you." Keshu thinks it must be maoning, so he immediately rushes downstairs. He was eagerly waiting to see maoning, but when he reaches, he's extremely shocked. It's not maoning. It's Yunan standing there. Keshu doesn't know Yunan, so he asks, "Who are you? Why were you looking for me?" Yunan immediately returns Keshu's ID badge and says, "You forgot this," as Keshu reaches to take it. Yunan pulls him close, quickly puts a cloth over his face, and makes him unconscious. In the next scene, we see maoning in a very worried state going somewhere. Keshu's calls aren't connecting at all, and maoning is extremely anxious. Suddenly some photos arrive on his phone. They're of Keshu taken in a very creepy way, the ones Yunan clicked after kidnapping him. Yunan's only motive was to provoke maoning. Maoning gets extremely worried and thinks, "The evidence Yang gave me, I can only use it once. Now Yunan knows my weakness and is using it against me. I have to teach this Yunan a lesson." He immediately tells his assistant, "Bring everyone who can fight. Yunan has kidnapped Keshu." Then his assistant tells maoning, "I also have some news for you. The guy I captured has confessed everything. I found out that all the trouble in our company was caused by Leopard, not Yunan. Yunan was just a pawn. The real mastermind is Leopard using Yunan as a front to destroy you. maoning understands everything. Leopard suddenly coming to his company that day, calling him, sending him to Yunan. It was all Leopard's trap to frame my maoning thinks Yunan was just Leopard's pawn. But he's not completely useless. I can use him too." In the next scene, we see Yunan talking to maoning on the phone. Keshu is lying there unconscious. Yunan tells maoning, "So Gaga, tell me, what are you willing to give in exchange for Keshu? Do you have anything you can offer me?" Maoning says, "I sent you a video, watch it first. Then give me your answer." As soon as Yunan watches the video, he panics badly. It's a video of him romancing with Yang Min. Maoning tells him, "If you don't release Keshu, I'll make this video public. The whole world will know. And you'll be ruined." Yunan says, "Gaga, don't you think you've gone too far? Shouldn't you be scared that I might do something bad to Keshu?" Maoning replies, "If you have the courage, go ahead and try, then I'll give you a very painful death." Yunan becomes very sad. Then suddenly he gets furious and says, "Maoning Gaga, why do you always act so cool?" He looks at Keshu and thinks, if I can't do anything bad to Keshu, that doesn't mean I can't scare him. He immediately picks Keshu up and gets on top of him. As soon as Keshu wakes up, he panics. Seeing him, tries to punch him. But Yunan catches his fist, gets on top, and says, "Do you know maoning sold you to me? Now I can do whatever I want with you." Keshu says, "Stop your nonsense, you're lying." Maoning would never do that. Yunan gets even closer to scare Keshu. Poor Keshu is about to cry when suddenly maoning arrives. He has already beaten all of Yunan's men badly. Seeing maoning, Yunan panics a lot and says, "Gaga, I can explain. I wasn't going to do what you're thinking." But maoning immediately pulls him away from Keshu. Maoning's assistant takes Yunan away. Maoning immediately takes care of Keshu and asks, "Are you hurt? Did he hurt you?" Keshu, blushing a lot, says, "Everything is fine," maoning says. "Okay then, come with me now. You're safe." While leaving, maoning tells his assistant, "You can handle the rest." Keshu looks back, but maoning stops him and takes him away. Then we see both in a car. Keshu is looking at maoning's injuries. Maoning tells him, "If you decide to stay with me, you'll have to face even more dangerous situations in the future. Your life could be in danger many times. So tell me honestly now, are you scared?" Keshu says, "Yes, I'm a little scared." Maoning asks, "Then do you want to break up with me?" Keshu shouts, "Stop your nonsense. I want you to teach me self-defense so I can protect myself. Teach me how to face bigger people. Even today, that man completely overpowered me. I couldn't do anything. So teach me how to fight." Maoning immediately gets on top of him and says, "Why do you want to learn to fight?" Keshu hugs him and says, "Because I want to protect you. You always come at the right time to save me. That's why I want to save you too, Aoning says. Okay, I'll teach you. In the next scene, we see Yang very worried because Min isn't picking up his calls and is completely ignoring him. Then Yang remembers Min lives in a dormitory and he knows the address. So he immediately heads there in the next scene. Min gets a call from his warden saying, "A boy with pink hair came looking for you." Min gets shocked and thinks, what did he come here for now? He goes to Yang and apologizes to his friends for causing trouble. He wakes Yang up and says, "Have you been drinking again?" Then he smells something from Yang's body and says, "Did you go out again? Did you do that again?" He gets very angry, then suddenly calms down and says, "I expected this from you. A person like you can't stop these things. But what did you come here for now?" We ended everything. Yang is still sleeping peacefully. Min says, "Stop acting. I know you're awake. If you don't get up soon, I'll call the guards and throw you out." Min is about to leave. But Yang grabs his hand and looks at him very sadly. Min looks back. Yang says, "Please don't push me away. I know I'm not worthy of you. I've done many bad and disgusting things. But I love you, and I'm ready to do anything to stay with you. Just tell me what I need to do. And if you're worried about Aoning, I've already quit that work. You can ask anyone. You can ask Aoning. I don't work for him anymore." Min lets go of his hand and starts leaving, saying it doesn't matter to me anymore. Yang gets very sad, then he immediately hugs Min and says, "Please give me one more chance." Min immediately slaps him hard on the face, then takes him to his room as soon as they enter. Yang throws Min onto the bed. Min says, "What are you doing?" Yang, crying badly, says, "I love you, don't push me away." Min hugs him back and says, "I'm ready to accept you." So finally, everything gets sorted between them. 2, in the next scene, we see Aoning going to meet Leopard with a lot of his men to take revenge. We see Leopard with Yunan. Both are working together. Leopard asks Aoning, "What did you come here for now?" Aoning says, "What belongs to me? We worked together for so many years, I never thought you would betray me and try to snatch my things behind my back." Leopard says, "Why don't we make a deal? Now that you know everything, let's split all profits 50 to 50. After that, you go your way, I go mine." Aoning angrily says, "Keep dreaming." Leopard laughs loudly and says, "Do you even know your situation?" With one signal from him, we see all the men turn against Aoning, but Aoning says, "You don't know the situation." Suddenly, we see Yunan pointing a gun at Leopard's head. Yunan has switched to Aoning's side. Leopard panics badly. Then we get a flashback scene. Aoning's assistant had offered Yunan a deal. "Aoning will forgive you if you work for him." Yunan immediately agreed. The assistant thought, "Is this idiot serious? Maybe he is a dog." Back to the present. Leopard tells Yunan, "You bastard, I did so much for you. Your father didn't even care about you. He sent you abroad, I brought you back. The place you have today. I gave it to you. Suddenly everyone attacks them and a fight starts." Leopard escapes but reaches a cliff with no way out. Aoning points a gun at his head. Leopard again offers a deal. "Let me go and I'll give you all the profits." But in that very moment, Aoning ends Leopard's story. He brings Leopard's body in front of everyone and says, "Now he's dead. From today, I'm your only boss. And today I declare I'm stepping down from my position. From now on, I'm no longer part of the mafia. I'm giving my position to you." And his assistant is shocked and says, "Boss, you can't do this. Are you really doing this?" Aoning says, "I know you'll handle everything well." And with that, Aoning finally quits the mafia life. In the next scene, we see Keshu returning home. He sees Aoning coming from the front and immediately hugs him. Aoning welcomes him. Both are super happy together. Then Aoning says, "I want to tell you something." Keshu also says, "I want to tell you something too." Then both say at the same time, "Now I'm unemployed." The story goes back to the past to show how Keshu became unemployed. We see Keshu in his office. Some officers come and call him. When Keshu goes to them, he finds out his boss had done some fraud and ran away because he always took Keshu along for drinks. Keshu is now implicated too, Keshu's boss says. "I'm not firing you, but I'm suspending you. When the matter calms down, I'll call you back." But Keshu knows office politics well. Once a scam happens, many people get fired. That means they're never calling him back. Keshu tells Aoning about this and says, "I don't think my office people will ever call me back." Aoning goes to him and says, Why are you worried? I'm with you. Then he kisses Keshu and says, I missed you so much. Both start getting very romantic, but then Keshu asks, May, you still haven't told me how you became unemployed, Aoning says. I retired. I quit my job. Keshu gets extremely shocked and looks at him strangely. Aoning thinks, why does everyone look at me like this when I say this? It's not like I can't quit being mafia. I left all my work to my assistant. He's like a brother to me. He'll handle everything well. Aoning sees Keshu is worried. He asks, why are you worried? Keshu says, now both of us are jobless. I won't be able to support you. You quit your job too. I have no work. How will I make tasty food for you? Aoning says, you're worrying about such a small thing. I have a surprise for you. I bought a cafe for you. Now you can sell all your tasty recipes there. Keshu is shocked and says, what have you done? Aoning says, why don't you like it? Keshu says, it's all happening so suddenly. I got a little scared. Then he smells him, kisses his cheeks and says, thank you so much, Aoning says. Just thank you. Nothing else. And they immediately start getting romantic again. Finally, after 50 episodes, romance happens between them. Then we directly see the next morning scene. Aoning looks at Keshu and says, good morning. My dear boyfriend. Keshu blushes and turns the other way, saying, you started again. Aoning hugs him from behind and says, for you I can always be ready. And here, this amazing manhwa reaches its happy ending. I hope you love this amazing manhwa, and you'll give the same love to my upcoming manhwas, too. And yes, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you with a new manhwa. Thank you for watching.